Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, streaming live on GorillaCross.com, the Gorilla Cross app, and podcasting not live, but podcasting everywhere, iTunes, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. We are everywhere. If you can't find us, that's your fault, not ours, because we let you know every week. You guys can call in 702-608-3259 if you want to give your take on what we're doing or what we're talking about on today's show. We have a lot of NBA we're going to be talking about today right here on Unnamed Sports Show. I'm your host, Quan59. Got my man, and I'll introduce you last, Josh. That's fine, because you were at a game and you lost. We got my man, Death Star Dave, in the building. What's good, man? It's been a minute.
It's been a little bit.
It's been a while,
Dave.
time. It's out of hand. You need
it's
to
been a long time.
Clean it up.
I shouldn't have left you.
You need to lock it up, Dave.
Without a dope take to step two.
Nice. Good job.
Anyway,
that's what I do.
Back at it.
That's what I do. Dave is back in the building. Download the Gorilla Cross app. Dave has it. Josh has it. I have it.
Correct.
Just in time, Josh. Your team almost came back. We're going to talk about that game tonight. I thought they were. I told you I thought it was going to overtime.
Some sphincters got tight in that building. I'm letting you know, because you know me. I was by myself. There wasn't any no cap fan was in my vicinity, even high five vicinity. So I was in enemy territory, and everyone hated me but loved me because I was talking trash. I'm egging it on.
They didn't love you.
Every time we play, I play there. I wear my cap stuff.
That's fine. They
give me handshakes on the way out. Win or lose. It's not trust me.
Look at your skin tone. Even if you were wearing a Golden Knights jersey, They wouldn't love you.
Well, hey, listen.
Well, you are more Ryan Reeves than Subban, so they probably do.
Yeah, you're one of the good ones.
He's one of the good ones.
He's one of the good ones, guys.
He looks like he has a white family. Anyways, we will talk about that game and talk about your experience, because I know that's the first game you've been to this season. So we'll talk about that. And a lot of All-Star game to talk about. Some Major League Baseball. No, baseball's season is coming up, and there's a lot. Everything's about the drama right now with the Astros. So we're going to get into that. I want to get your guys' opinions on what's going on there. We won't be talking about NASCAR. Daytona 500 just happened
today. It was delayed.
Very weird.
Yeah, I guess it was weather.
Yeah, usually on Sundays, and obviously
I don't know why they put it on. They always put it up against weekends where there's something else going
It's
on.
almost
It's
every
like, bro,
All-Star weekend.
Don't do that. Do it the week before or the week
Do
after.
you think that NASCAR fans care that it was on the same day as the NBA All-Star game?
But I mean, it might but I'm sure there are some fans that would like to watch both. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you usually can because one's in the morning and one's at night. For that small semblance of both fan bases that's really looking forward to both.
For all 10.
There's plenty of people that actually look forward to both.
Sure.
I promise.
They're two totally different demographics.
I used to watch both.
Well,
There you go.
that's one.
That's why you're one of the good ones.
Listen,
Fair, Dave. Fair.
if anyone out there watches both NASCAR and NBA All-Star Weekend, give us a call at 702-608-3259.
And don't say I like turned it on or I go to a race to see crashes and drink beer.
No,
I mean,
no.
you watch and you have like a driver.
No,
Yeah.
when
you
Jeff,
have
Jeff,
to name 5 drivers without Googling.
Yeah, no, Jeff was my driver. Jeff was my guy for years. And so when Gordon was really on it, I
But
watched.
you watch all sports. I mean, you're a tennis fan.
I am.
You know.
Yeah, it's.
We have
I'm
to
an
check your
anomaly.
ancestry.com because there has to be some in there somewhere.
Wow.
It actually goes back a little bit. It goes back a while.
Yeah.
Before it starts
before it hits the knee.
gets funny. When it gets funny, then they're like, uh-oh.
We are powered by Precharge. We got some Precharge gear.
Got the pre-charge
You know what I'm
swag. Yeah.
I got some swag. That's a floppy hat. Some good stuff, though,
That's
man.
what the kids are wearing these days.
I like this one. I know this would be... It's one of those shirts that's good for the gym, but also hurts, like when you're running. You know what I'm talking about?
You
Like,
think that shirt hurts?
right?
Oh, that's the
I don't know
nipple.
if you
That's
can
the
say
nipple.
nipple
You got to
shirt.
wear like the.
I don't know if you can say nipples on unnamed.
You got to wear an underlayer.
Yeah, you have to wear something.
No, you just have to get one that's actually form-fitted and it won't bounce.
Still, like when you're sweating in the gym, it's I don't know. I get it.
And you
all
should
the
only
time.
go form fitted if you could have the body to be form fitted.
Listen,
couldn't.
if I get a form-fitted one of these, people are going to think I'm at the gym 6 months pregnant. Can't do it.
All right, so for you guys that need them loose.
Dave, how far along are you? Because I'm about 6
Dave-
months right
Dave's
now.
in his second trimester
about
for
6
sure.
months
I'm far.
For sure. Man.
You guys
Full-blown
got
fat.
to get some stuff going on. I don't know. Quan says he's been working out though. He's, you know what I mean? You know, it
Crazy
takes
thing is that
some
still get a
months.
pretty strong amount of cardio in. I would surprise you.
There you go. That's good.
Dave ran once. This is probably what year was that? That was around 2009, I think. Because I think when Lakers were playing Orlando in the finals, we went to Dave's house to watch Game 1. He had a treadmill in his living room.
Oh yeah, I was all
This
about it.
dude, he weighed like 120.
No, that's
It
when
was- he
I
was
like
pretty
I
skinny.
over exercised.
He was
People
pretty
thought I
skinny.
was like starving myself, but really I ate all the time.
Really?
I don't have a metabolism to even make that happen anymore.
Yeah. Sucks, man. This whole getting older thing is not
But
what
no,
we cracked it up to
175
be.
was not good on me. I looked like I was dying.
No,
Yeah,
that's
you-
way too
yeah, it was-
skinny, Dave.
yeah.
It's way too thin. for me.
175 is too skinny for me. So
And how tall are you?
175 for you is
6'4".
6'4",
Yeah, no,
175.
It's
Yeah,
too thin.
bro.
Can't do it.
I get to 185, you're gonna start asking a lot of questions.
It wasn't
Who's your
good.
dealer?
I need to get it to 185 because this 201, 205.
If I could see 201, 205, I'd be very excited. Very.
How much are
excited.
you right now?
I've been losing weight, so
No, that I didn't
don't-
say that.
no, I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Because everybody keeps saying I've been losing weight, so I don't until I weigh myself again. I know last time I weighed myself in jail, I was I was 250. So
All right, let's talk about it. Let's get that out of the way.
Okay,
No, you're the
all
one that brought
right,
it up.
all
I was
right,
going to
all
bring it
right,
up.
All right, yeah. Well, I
It's
mean,
one of those things.
been
All
some
right,
weeks
so
now.
Thursday, not last Thursday, the one
Yeah.
before, we were getting ready to
That's
do a show.
That's right.
Steve was here from his last show, so he's like, "Oh, I'll come. I'll be on the show." He didn't know anything about the topics that I had ready, so I'm like, "Okay, like you can wing it," but it couldn't be all me and Steve show. Like I knew the topics we were talking about, which was sports. He didn't really have.
It's downside.
He just came off his show, Negro Please on Vegas.
he was
IBD.
still hyped up.
Exactly. So
Okay.
he was Vegas hyped up.
He was hyped up.
So I was like, okay, cool. So we're calling Josh. I'm like, usually, Josh will answer the phone asleep. That's what I assumed, Hey, he fell asleep. He took his afternoon nap. Nothing.
I'll be on my way.
It happens.
Phone goes straight to voicemail. Vanessa, I'll call you back. Phone goes straight to voicemail. I'm like, that's weird because usually in the afternoon he's on at least 15%. It's usually at night when he's on 1% and then dead on
right
on time for the show to start to share the show. It's like, I can't share it. My phone died. So I'm assuming like his phone died. Something happened. Maybe, whatever. Like he didn't show up.
Normal life.
I'm like, Steve, honestly, I wasn't really feeling doing the show anyways. Let's just cancel it. I couldn't do a show with just Steve. So, we leave everything. I have shows later on in the night. I'm getting a phone call, thinking it's a phone call during the Final Countdown show, thinking it's a phone call for the show. I don't answer because, the topic they were in, they weren't taking phone calls yet.
Oh, okay.
I get that same phone number on my regular phone, though. I'm like, wait, how would someone call into the show have my personal phone number, too? So I don't answer it, and they kept calling the radio line, didn't answer it, got some other calls. I'm like, I'm not going to answer because we keep getting those prank callers, stuff like that. So I didn't answer. So long story short, get done with their shows. I'm wrapping it up. I check my messages. Last name Williams. Won't put out the first name.
Quit. That's mom.
Okay, I didn't. Listen, man. I'm not putting someone else's mom's name.
Anybody that knows me knows mom's name is
cool.
Quit, and they just say Quit.
So Quit Williams, name and number came up. I checked the voicemail. What time's you guys show today? We're just checking. I'm like, let me call her back because why is she blowing up my line? And another Williams. Can I say his name?
Yeah, it's Johnny.
was blowing up. Was calling my phone too. So. I'm the one that suggested to them that maybe he's in jail for warrants. Because I think you had told me that you had.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So your mom was worried. Your brothers were worried. I know Jerome had put something up on Facebook.
Yeah, and by that point
and so once that happens, it's like, okay, now it's out there in the internet. Now it's time to panic. Did he die a funny death is all I'm thinking. Also, I'm thinking if this dude is dead, it better be funny enough for us to talk about and laugh about on the show.
That's horrible.
I mean, Josh.
What would be funny?
Wait,
Dave, come on, man.
Please.
Come on, man.
What would be funny?
Hey, listen.
I was hoping
it's funny until it happens to you.
I went on Google to see if Jim Boeheim was in town because that would have been the best if he would have ran you over on the freeway. Anyways, what happened? Tell us your side of the story.
Yeah.
You are alive and well.
Man.
And we're happy about that,
Alive and well.
We can't lose Kobe and Josh in the
same
month.
week. It was the same. It was about a week inside of each other. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but
both caught cases evidently.
Yeah, I had some warrants. I sold my house, and I was getting to paying off the warrants. My warrant, when you sell your house, of course, you have so many different things. You got to turn stuff off and move out and all those good things. And so I had finally gotten my money, and I had that on my list of things to do. And on Wednesday night, me and one of my friends, we met up with another one of our friends from Toronto, took her out to dinner. We went to Giada's. And earlier in the day, I had gone by Loft 5. I was looking to move into Loft 5. And anybody knows gated communities or guard gates, you show your ID, they give you your ID back. So I'm at dinner, and I go to pay for dinner. And I'm like looking in my wallet like, hey, that picture looks a little off. Like, like the head position wasn't where my, you see your ID so much, you just know if something's wrong. And so I'm like, let me pull that out. I pull it out. It's not my ID. And I'm like, man, they gave me the wrong ID. So I go drop my friend off. I head over, start heading back to Loft 5. I make the exit on Blue Diamond, get on the strip. I'm literally at Pebble, and the lights hit me. I was checking I had gotten a text from somebody. I don't even know who it was, but I got a text. I looked down at my phone, picked it up, and he got behind me, pulled me over.
Now, when that happens, what are you thinking? Knowing you have the warrants. Okay.
Listen, as a black person, especially if you have warrants. No, if you do have warrants, you already know this isn't going to go in your favor. unless the cop is already like tired and they don't feel like dealing with it.
All right, Sports needs to said how many warrants? Because she said you said some warrants has more than one. So how many warrants did you have?
I had so basically.
No, not basically.
Right. No, this is basically. Okay. You got to get what had happened was. Yeah, this is the perfect time. What had happened was. So, Josh was arrested 2 years ago for my tags were like egregiously dead. My tags were dead by a solid 9 months. I had almost made it a full calendar year.
Wow.
I'd almost made it all the way back around. Like I had
you're just out there reinforcing stereotypes.
Listen,
Have you
okay?
ever been on the TV show Dumb Criminals?
Listen. If you know anything about a Challenger, you know the daggone freaking plates are not cheap. And my plates were like $700, and I was not prepared to pay it. And I was like, well, till I get the money, I'm gonna just ride dirty. And so I had little ways to get around the cops. Like I would only drive in the right hand lane. So if I saw a cop and I needed to abort mission, we was aborting that mission. I always would give myself another 20 minutes to get anywhere, because if I needed to take a pause for the cause and take a sit somewhere, I would.
Wow.
So anyway, I got pulled over for that. Was taken to jail because my tags were like, he just was like, Jesus Christ, these aren't good tags? I was like, no. He took me to jail. So I had some tickets on that. The judge had bundled them together. It was like $3,000 worth of tickets. He bundled them together. I paid like 80% of it off, and then I got broke again and didn't have a chance to pay it all off, and it went back up to $3,000. I was like, screw it. So that's what I was going to be paying off before I got pulled over. So when I got pulled over,
you didn't start paying
my
off.
old no, I paid off most of it, but it went back up because I didn't finish. And so they went back to warrant status, and yeah. So when they pulled me over, the old charges were still there, and yeah, that's how your boy got put in bracelets.
So what have you learned from this?
Well, everything's in good standing now. That's why I had to stop driving Uber and Lyft. Yeah,
He just puts it all out there.
it's all right. I'm Tajashi. It's not a problem. I'll tell.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll tell
you're
it all.
You tell on yourself,
I ain't got no problem. Hey, look,
Put it all
you
out
gotta,
there.
look, you gotta, you can say he's honest.
You should have did a GoFundMe or something.
Nah, it's go fund my own dream, man. It is what it is.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So
But
now you did time. So does some of that get taken off, or how's that? work?
Oh, that whole process. I don't even want to talk about that. That'll start getting into jailhouse stories, and I can do it on air, but we won't have enough time to do our sports. So
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
it's all right. It's okay.
Wow.
It's paid. It's taken care of. Everything's paid off. I'm in good standing. I pick up the Challenger. I just got the Challenger redone, so I pick that up tomorrow. And then I just have to put plates on that now, and then everything's fine. So,
All right. So Dave, how was your week?
Been sick.
a little cold.
No, I've had this chronic cough, but then I had some viral infection. I've been on antibiotics and all that
It's been a few
nonsense.
weeks, Dave. Like since you've been sick.
Well, no, I
few weeks on and
came
off.
back around, and then it hit back.
Yeah.
It hit back with different illness. I've been hacking up a lung
Ooh,
for a while.
You know what they call that, right?
Dying.
Coronavirus.
People have asked many times.
they call it China, is what they call it.
I had an Asian cough in my car. And
That's what you said.
it sounded like the coronavirus.
Corona has a sound now. I don't even
sounded
want to know.
like that.
I don't even want to know what that cough or that like emission
The
of
cough
of-
sounds
of
like a bottle
fear.
cap coming out and a lime going in. Coronavirus.
Oh
I
man.
usually have my Coronas with lime.
Yo,
That's
if you
why
want to
just-
call in, hit us up 702-608-3259. Give us your arrested stories and let us know.
That actually would be an
Man.
interesting segment if people would call and say, "Hey, I got arrested." Like, because I mean, have you ever been arrested, Quan?
I was in there one time.
Okay, so that's a yes, Dave.
Nope.
Dang it, Dave.
I
No
never
drunk
should have
nights,
Good
been.
with the
Dave.
police.
No drunk,
Very
no
good with the
drunk
police.
stories of Dave getting out of pocket.
I am very good with the police.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe.
I have
this.
talked myself and others out of incarceration before. Thank
There,
you.
okay. All right. If you've had to talk them out, then that's
Oh,
at
yeah.
least-
Close enough.
It was 50-50 for me.
I could have got you out, Josh.
I don't know.
I'm good with the police.
Yeah, look, I will say the arresting officer was very, very nice. he didn't make things uncomfortable, but riding in the back, I will say something to everyone out there. If you have never been arrested, riding in the back of a police car is the most uncomfortable thing. One of the most uncomfortable things you'll ever go through in your life. Like, literally one of the most uncomfortable things ever.
All right.
Oof.
All right. Well, moving on to sports, Dave.
Stick to sports.
Let's go to sports.
Shut up,
Hold
dribble.
on, I got some to play.
Oh, you gonna play?
Oh, wow. This was so terrible and long. And I know the Steve Huffs out there are going to defend Chaka Khan for this one, but no. First off, your bootleg Jordan jersey off the shoulder, which was not necessary at your age, Chaka, that says Icon. Come on now. I mean, I know nobody can tell her anything on any of this stuff, but come on, man. Somebody needed to tell her. Yeah, it wasn't good.
That was the struggle right there.
Whoa.
I mean, this was still better than Fergie's.
They're both pretty bad, though.
This is awful.
On different types of levels.
Well, she's showing range. She's
Yeah, but
just a
sometimes
little
you got to
off.
keep that range in check a little bit.
She's just a little off. She's a little off. She had
A
a.
lot off.
She needed Rufus. Leave it alone.
You need a roofie.
No.
No, don't do that. But listen, man, I can't. Definitely, Fergie was worse, mainly due to the fact that it was worse. But Chaka Khan's 66 years old. She's an icon. Fergie's not an icon.
No.
Fergie's no, she's not.
She didn't have the voice to be pulling.
Not an
Chaka
icon,
Khan
but
shut
she
up.
was.
Exactly.
She's definitely a
good.
star.
I mean,
she's
she was a star.
She's a
There's
star.
a big difference between star and icon.
Yeah.
We do got a caller live on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Cassandra Cusino, your girl, Big Sportsnista.
What
I
up?
felt that one coming.
You felt that one?
I felt that one coming.
What you not gonna do is to bestow blasphemy on the name of Yvette Marie Stevens, otherwise known as Chaka Khan. What's wrong with you? She is definitely an icon. Who else you know is Queen of Funk? Who else you know?
No, he said she's an icon.
No,
She's an icon. That doesn't mean it wasn't bad.
Hey, Cassandra, she just didn't have an iconic moment. That's all that was. That was it. You know what I mean? Everybody has a
Everybody's got
bad
bad
day.
night.
You just don't know Chaka Khan. 10 Grammy winning. Chaka Khan has sold 70, 80 million records worldwide. You just don't know Chaka Khan. And what you not finna do is say she's not an icon. Don't make me come down here. I done took my shoes off already.
We got a chair for you.
My hair. What?
We got a chair for you, Cassandra. You come on down.
Guess what? I'm going to be riding in the left lane, the middle lane, the right lane. Josh, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, girl. It was not my finest hour, but you know, it's what it is. You know, it's
but
all right.
that's how the broke get broken, man. Them fees, that's the junk that be messing people up.
Yeah.
You might have had the loot to pay the damn ticket, but once the fees went up,
Yeah.
it was just SOL.
Yeah.
Next time, Josh, I'll bust somebody in the throat if they try to put you in the back of the car like that.
I love
My
it.
Gangster.
I was like, what? The least harmful part. Listen, that cop rolled past 15, 20, maybe even 30 criminals before he got to you.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, and best believe the prostitutes, they get out very quick in jail. I'm like, hold on, man. She doing illegal activities. I'm in here for a cell phone. Like, you guys real trying to hold me in here?
Right.
That's the worst thing.
I'm
You
sure
know,
there's
that's
things you could do to
something
get out
that you
quick
have
too
to
that
fight.
they do. Well, I'm just saying.
It
I
ain't
mean,
gonna work.
if you want to get out
It
early,
ain't gonna
there's-
work. It ain't gonna work off. So it's not gonna work out so well. I'll tell you that much. And that's a
Hey, at
lifestyle
least get out with your dignity, man. Get out with your dignity.
That's right. That's right.
Foolishness. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all finish.
all right.
But don't be putting blasphemy on the name
And
of.
I said she's an
of Chaka.
icon. I said she's an icon. That
She is an
like
icon.
Dave
That
said,
doesn't
that's
mean
the
her
iconic
national
moment.
anthem was good.
But that's why I give her more props than Fergie because was it bad? Yeah, but honestly, I didn't even hear her the whole time. I'm just looking at her like she's 66. I
Still
couldn't
looks
believe
great.
she's 66.
Still looks great.
She looks the same for my entire life.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
I mean, me and my brother were talking about it, and we said 50 something. Or he said
Yeah.
that. I'm like, I think she's older.
I thought she
Not
was
possible.
older, but you could have told me
There was a
anything.
song that came out in the 80s, and that, that's when we were kids growing up listening to music.
Yeah.
That's when we thought she started.
no 70s.
No, exactly. So in our heads as kids, like, oh, this new artist,
New
Chaka
art-
Khan.
new artist,
And,
Chaka
and it's like, no, she's had some other decades before with platinum albums.
Oh my goodness.
But
Thanks, Cassandra.
Yeah, we got another call live on there. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mo with Girl Chat Sports. What's up, fellas?
What up? What up? Oh, listen,
What's up, what's
all the
up?
women are calling in today.
Oh,
Don't mess with Shaka.
I feel bad.
Brown women salute.
The Chaka thing, I agree that she is an icon. However, she has lost her singing abilities many moons ago.
Oh,
Thank you.
I saw her recently. I saw her like 2 years ago at a Newport Beach Jazz Festival. She had to have Layla Hathaway come out and finish the rest of her song.
Yikes.
She is not the vocalist she used to be.
Thank you.
And that's sad because I'm a fan. I'm just saying she wasn't the right choice.
So who in the NBA allowed
She
that
was
to
not the
happen
right
then?
choice.
If we know that
I
Chaka's
mean-
out here on her last note, why are we?
I mean, maybe
No, we
that's
don't
why.
know that she's the right. We don't know. We don't know. But you have people that hold her to a high esteem and probably want to throw her solid. I mean, it's the same time but Anita Baker did the anthem one year. And I know Anita Baker can sing sometimes, but her anthem wasn't good that one year she did it. So, you
Mo
know.
is
With the national anthem, you just need to take it easy. Just like sing normal. Don't try to overdo it.
Well, these are
They throw their own
That's not how they do it.
kind of way on it.
This is my people. My people. We don't do things. We're not going to look unless it's an
Right.
opera black person. Is not going to go down that way. Mo,
Right.
is Chaka from Chicago? Is she from out there?
Yeah.
Oh well, then that's why.
I think she is. I'm not sure.
That's why.
Like I said,
I'm
I saw her in
almost positive she is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She probably is, but I mean, nor here nor there. It's 2020. She has lost it a few years back, in my opinion. I mean, I went out to Newport Beach to, she was the main act and couldn't get it all the way through. And God bless Layla Hathaway because she carried it on. And I like Layla Hathaway too. She had to finish for her. So
All right.
that's what it is. But Josh, keep your head up. I've been there before. You know what I mean? I've been where you've been. And
I
it ain't
appreciate
fun.
you, girl. I
So
appreciate
hang
you.
in there. Yeah, hang
Thank
in
you.
there. All right, y'all be light. Have a good show.
All right,
right.
take care. She
All
is
right,
from
bye.
she is from Chicago. I
Yeah.
just looked it up. She is from Chicago.
Well, I figured that was the case.
Yeah,
I think the NBA wasn't rolling out a 66-year-old Chaka Khan for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, who's free
Straight from
tonight?
Alabama?
Who's
Shaka
free
Khan.
tonight in the freezing cold of Chicago?
That's right.
This is how we heard of Shaka Khan back in the
Really?
day.
This
Oh, yeah.
this was your first
I'm sure there was the other ones, but I didn't know.
with the Cosby Show music in the background.
Are we allowed to talk about the Cosby Show anymore?
No,
Of
no,
course we
no,
are.
no.
Cosby Show is
no.
still the Cosby Show.
Okay, Heathcliff. No.
Yes. The boards and the cop cars and you handcuffs. Me
Oh,
too,
man.
Josh. Me too.
Oh,
You guys all got problems.
oh my God! Not me too. Be at the end though. Oh, move on, Quad, move on. So the game. Well, actually, no. Would you like to go earlier in the weekend since we're on All Star?
Now let's jump into the All-Star game, the
Oh, good.
festivities. Everybody was from Chicago. They had Common. A lot of people were dissing Common. I'm not sure why. I thought he did a great job. With the Kobe tribute.
His
and with the
intro was a
introduction.
bit long.
I thought
He was good, but I mean, that's just.
Was it last year when they had like the comedian trying to introduce them and like Kevin Hart was there too? I mean, this was
That was, I think, the year before with Kevin Hart.
Was it like Anthony Anderson?
no, it was
Who
the
was
white
it?
dude that
No, but they had the one with Kevin Hart where Kevin Hart was trying to roast people as it went on, and I wanted to stab
it was
myself in
bad.
the eyes and stop watching basketball forever.
yeah.
Forever
It was
and a
bad.
day.
So I mean, I thought Common
That
because
actually didn't happen
he
soon
was
enough.
he was introing them and he was actually rhyming at the same time, and I thought it was super dope and creative. So it wasn't too long. The NBA does a lot of stuff that's too long, I think, for the
It's
All-Star
They ain't
weekend.
playing yet.
That's the All-Star game. You know when the
6:45.
game is kicked
Yeah.
is the tip-off time is the start of the intros. The intros are at least a half an hour every
Good
year.
Lord have mercy.
And they have a mini concert before, and they do a lot now for the All-Star game.
Too much almost.
Weird that Common, obviously Chicago, Chance the Rapper, Chicago, Kanye West was there. They didn't let him perform. I'm not sure. Like
He's not a
cost too
rapper
much.
no more.
He still raps.
No. Well, okay.
They let
It-
Chance the
it-
Rapper do
it-
his gospel song, which was actually on Kanye's album.
Okay.
But Kanye could have got up and done.
Do you think
something.
they would have stopped Kanye from performing if Kanye felt like performing? Get out of here. You're
But
acting
I'm-
like they're blackballing him.
but that is
I didn't
interesting.
say that.
No,
I
but-
brought up the point. He wasn't there. I don't know why he wasn't.
Well, I mean, but it is interesting just the simple fact that, but I will say this. Being that he's from Chicago, a lot of people in Chicago kind of walked away from Kanye about a good 10 years ago. So on a national stage, everyone still associates Kanye with Chicago, but in terms of regionally, people would be like, shoot, Kanye's LA. They don't really, they still mess with him, but it's not on the same level.
All right.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with
he was there in the crowd. So when I saw him in like the first half, I'm like, okay, cool. At least he's there. But I thought it was great. I thought the whole weekend was one of the best weekends in a long time. I was unaware this was the first time in Chicago since '88. Yeah, and that's when I started watching hardcore. Was the '88 All-Star weekend?
I always thought there was one closer to when the United Center opened, but I guess I was wrong.
No, never. Because think about it. That would have been Jordan time if it happened anywhere between 90, outside of '94 when it first opened.
I guess I always figured it happened and didn't really think back to it not happening.
Yeah. Because you think a city like that, LA's had it three times since the 2000s. I know 04, I think 11 and 18.
18.
So I still want to keep putting it back in LA because the weather in these cold weather cities, like in Toronto a couple years ago, Chicago this year, the players are not about that.
Well, it's not so much the players.
You can't find them hose out there that cold.
Stop, you can't. It's not so much. It's not so much about the players as much as it is about all the different money and meetings that go into All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend has become the biggest meeting place for NBA marketing partners.
Yeah, sure.
So they have a lot of meetings. Yeah. They do a lot of those types of things. And so to have all that kind of stuff and be trying to shuttle people around, frigid Cleveland in the middle of February, it is a little bit
in Cleveland
tougher.
Next year or the year after.
Is it?
I know it's either.
Well, I'm glad that they're starting to actually put it in cold weather cities again, because for the longest time it was in Miami, it was in Atlanta. Like they stayed everything on the southern rim or the west. That was really it. This kind of
people seem to like it that way.
But I think they did a great job. I think the whole weekend was really, it was good. I enjoyed all of it, and I haven't enjoyed
all of it
Saturday night in a long time. I haven't enjoyed Saturday night in a long time, and this Saturday night was actually entertaining and good. And
I didn't even watch the 3-point shootout this year. I only watched the dunk contest.
Huh.
Speaking of the dunk contest,
so the 3-point shootout actually had like a new ball. It's worth 3 points. So you actually can get more points than you ever could before.
Yeah.
That stuff gets hard to follow, even for me. And I love sports and all this stuff, but it's like every time you turn around, there's ways for scores to get higher. Home run derby's the same way.
It's not even following it, Dave. It's honestly, let's make it up as we go along. That's But for the guys that are out there shooting, half-court shots now, comfortably, you have to start to do that kind of stuff to separate people, because then it's like, well, shoot, I can go back here and start pulling and keep myself in this game.
Yeah.
So it's a little, I understand it. It makes sense. And it's exciting, and this is a time to do it.
Of course.
And they made a lot of changes, to the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Which, I think we talked about when we first heard the All-Star game itself, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But, I don't think we liked it when we first heard it.
Definitely not. I didn't.
I think things changed. So we'll talk about that in a minute. All-Star Saturday night. Who won the 3-point shootout? Buddy Hield won the 3-point shootout on the last shot.
And then Big
Buddy Hield won. Well, Buddy Hield won the shootout. His teeth came in second.
Wow. I'm so dumb.
Actually, his teeth beat him to the finish line. What am I saying?
Was Bam Adebayo? Was that the winner of the skills? Right.
That's unwatchable.
You think so?
Yes.
I actually find it cool now that there's it's a secondary way to showcase big men, because today's big men can do so many things where it's like now it's starting to separate a little bit.
At least they got rid of that shooting stars nonsense that nobody ever wanted to watch.
I actually like that better than the skills.
I actually did used to like that.
Yeah, I like it because they were bringing a WNBA player,
in the old
former
school
player.
Yeah, that was always fun.
Like that.
Was always fun.
The thing I don't like about the skills, especially now, is that the big guys try, and like the point guards who should be dominating this could not care even a little bit less.
You think so?
About it? Oh, you see them out there. It's just like,
I think sometimes that they start just because they feel like I'm gonna dominate this, and so then like they start weaving, and it's like, I'm gonna have to push it a little bit harder than I thought, and they lose time just on doing that, or they'll kind of go through a period of malaise trying to make the pass, and because it's like, I got it, and they'll go to make it, and it's and they'll go back and mess up again. It's like, like it's I don't
it's not for me.
No, I personally like it. I'm honestly, really from a business standpoint, just because like that's something that I will put into an event because it is cool. You can do different sponsored things, but it does showcase a range of talent. You know, the guys that can dunk, they're gonna do something at the end to make it exciting.
Yeah.
You know, you can see the big men passing and Jokic throwing it with one hand, going through the hoop, like just different things. I think it has different elements to show kind of your own personal flair, personally. But I understand.
I think
why
it's a
you
little
don't like
boring. I don't know why they don't do horse. I know they did it pre All-Star Saturday a couple
That would be
times,
fun.
and it was
Well,
actually
they did the last time with like Durant out
was, like,
there, but it was
outside.
like 2 hours before the show even started.
yeah. But I actually liked that a lot, and they never really even brought that back. Not even for the pre All-Star Saturday. But I think a game of horse would be dope, and I don't understand which that's what everyone plays playing basketball. You go to a court, you're playing horse.
How many players?
I mean, that's something to figure out.
Because I guess I think the main thing would be because that's another one of those things where some of these other things they can kind of earmark how much time it'll be on TV in terms of TV wise. Whereas horse,
put a clock on it. There's ways to do it.
Here's an even better way to do it. Make it the 2 All-Star captains, and make it for first pick, and you do the pick live there. Why do you have to have the teams picked?
Because they have to make the uniforms.
So what? So you have 2 uniforms ready for every All-Star. How much really will that cost the NBA?
No, they daggone so that stuff on
you pick players. Make you pick the players right there.
That would be cool. I want to stand on the fence.
I want to see James Harden's face when they wait to pick every other starter and like, oh, okay, we'll take Harden. I want to see that. That would make that even. That's what they do in hockey when they did the draft a couple times for hockey. They made these guys sit there like they were getting picked right in front of them. So you made these picks to the person's face. It was the best.
And you look at them and pass them by and pick somebody else. So you're looking down the line.
I just want to look at Russ's murder look anytime somebody passed him up.
But the reason they do it on TV, their excuse was they don't want people to, they were worried about their feelings, which I had a problem with that because we all grew up. Hold on. We all grew up playing basketball, being picked like that.
And you don't want to be the last pick.
We weren't making millions while we were doing it.
Correct.
So now you make millions. It doesn't matter. You're still making millions.
But also you go through all that, and then you can have after the game where Giannis himself is going like, oh, our whole plan was to try to isolate against whoever James Harden was covering.
I'll say the one thing that kind of throws a monkey wrench in that, I like that, but the one thing that they do is,
wow. How old are you?
Sorry, but they actually do that. The practice, the All-Star game practice at jam session, and and all that kind of stuff. There's fan activation and different things there.
So maybe do it on Friday night. Have Friday night be a little bit better.
But I actually like the way Dave does it in terms of doing it like that's the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna pick our lineup right now, and you don't know, and so then I don't know if they
because you can still have a practice.
Yeah, like I mean, everybody.
It's not like the
practice.
coaches are going through.
It's not like they're working. I mean, all we see is videos of them goofing. It's not like these all-star practices. They're going hard.
Nothing serious.
Or they're paying attention to these people's sets.
It's a shoot around.
Do you think Draymond was ever sober for one of those practices? Get out of here.
Yes, he was. That's horrible. Don't say that about. Don't you besmirch the good name, Draymond Green. That's horrible.
Do you think James Harden hasn't been sweating out tequila from whatever strip club he was at the whole night before? Come on now.
Wow.
These are all just erroneous reports.
Am I wrong?
Hey, listen. I won't say that you're wrong or right. I'm just saying.
He wasn't following the man.
I don't know. I can't. Yeah. I got nothing. I can only tell you what I've been told. And of the new kids, I don't see. All right. So I'll say this. For the new generation, so many of them take their body and what they put in their body so serious that it's very hard for me to
James ain't one of those.
True, but many of the other guys they don't do a lot of stuff. Like the Jerome's generation. That's definitely the case for sure. But this generation, it's hard for me to say, and they're younger than me, so I don't. It's kind of tough. So
yeah,
I'll just give you that.
All right.
Dunk contest. Wait a minute. Don't be trying to move on past this.
Move on past what?
You was giving the all right like we was moving on to hockey. I was just trying to.
Why would I move on to hockey?
I don't know. I'm just trying to help.
I said all right. I want to move on from your point because it was boring me.
Well, fine.
Okay.
Dunk contest.
Dunk contest. Go ahead, Josh.
Yes, let's rage out. That was nonsense.
I agree.
That's my analysis.
Can I give you my reason why I thought it was nonsense?
Okay.
Believe me, Derrick Jones Jr. is an amazing dunker.
Yeah.
And he does some crazy stuff. Every one of those dunks was between the legs.
But every one of those dunks, had you seen them before? Every one. Even the one where he did the 360 reverse the wrong way. I've seen that dunk.
In the NBA,
it's a
though.
great. Well, no, remember Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. attempted it. He missed it.
Okay.
But I've seen that dunk many times before. It was a great dunk. It was that was a
But we're
50.
talking about in the NBA
And
dunk
by the-
contest.
by the
we
way,
have to separate the NBA
professional
dunk contest
versus
from
professional.
the ones you're watching on YouTube all the time because
Live.
let's face it, those are better.
Are we sure Pat Connaughton shouldn't have made it to the finals?
Oh, he was horrible.
What are you talking
He was
about?
Bro.
boring. That was boring.
Bro.
No,
okay.
Dwight Howard was horrible.
No, he wasn't.
Bro.
When he did that Superman one and everybody they gave him a 50 for that
Oh, no,
nonsense
not
because
that
he
one,
broke
yeah.
out Kobe
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, not-
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's trash.
I thought you were talking about the other Superman one though, where he went reverse spin and put the ball all the way
Yeah,
out.
he got like a 44 for that.
That was disgusting.
That was
a great dunk.
his by far a nicer dunk, and
Yeah.
they gave him a much better score for not even an impressive dunk.
It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. I'll
No,
give
but
you
I
that.
mean, he didn't move on either. So it
Dude,
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon was
Head and shoulders.
not done
he might
correctly.
be one of the best. He might be the best dunker of all time.
that never won.
That never won, and he'll never do it again.
Sean Kemp. He got Sean Kemp.
He'll never do it again.
Yeah.
He said he's not going to do the dunk
He's
contest again.
retiring.
And yeah, Jones Jr. was dope. Not taken away from him.
He
but
was.
To say
I'm not
that
disrespecting him.
last dunk was, what was it, a 46 or something like that?
No, he had a 48. Remember in the
No, there
in
was
the-
three people gave him a 9. So I think it was a 47 because I'm pretty
Okay.
sure 3 people gave him a 9.
He had a-
one was, I mean, why is Wakanda judging a dunk contest? Why aren't dunkers?
First off, if
judging a
anybody
dunk
hates
contest?
the being said from Wakanda, when they said that, Chadwick Boseman was sitting there like, I can't believe I got more of this coming in my life.
bro, he better.
He's making millions off
He
it.
better
Yeah, but
ease up.
like, look at that man's face. He
True.
does not enjoy it.
Tired of it, but hey, listen. You better Iron Man the heck out of this thing.
Yeah.
You better stop playing Robert.
Yeah, if you're
Robert
smart,
Downey
you just
Jr.
steer into it like
Yeah.
Robert. Start speaking in that Wakandan accent.
all the time.
Show up at the Oscars.
For real.
Throw it up Wakanda forever.
But Dwayne Wade was a horrible judge. The commentators telling them how to vote or how to score was horrible too. Reggie Miller needs to be off TV.
Well, that's for all
he's horrible.
purposes. He's always
he's
terrible.
horrible. But Dwayne Wade was a horrible judge.
Yeah.
They're looking at each other's scores to see what they're going to score. So they're telling you right there, we're
Yeah.
going to determine who's going to win and move on
Yeah.
and who's not.
Yeah.
And they wanted to be out of there. They didn't even want to have to judge one more dunk in case they tied again.
Well, did
and
you-
that's why they had that horrible score. They're all looking at each other. Oh, let's all give
Well,
nines.
wait. No, did you hear what Common said after everything?
With common
That
sense.
they were
So
supposed to leave it
they-
tied and just
yeah,
end it.
They were supposed to tie it, and one of the judges messed up. One of them, I guess, they didn't basically kept. It was
So
five,
you
it
have
was
4
five black,
judges in there
They
talking.
didn't check the math.
it was five black people at the same time. I mean, math isn't always the strongest
tie.
suit.
The tie is not. Why?
I
Why
don't
have
know.
a tie? Give out 2 trophies like that. That's
it
dumb
shouldn't
to
have been
me.
a tie because
Keep
he
dunking
freaking
till somebody
jumped
wins.
no, listen,
Aaron
he
Gordon
jumped
won that.
over
Aaron Gordon won
Dagon
that.
Taco Fall.
And
like
I
there
don't
was no
care-
tie,
And what people are saying, like, well, he jumped on him.
bro. That man's
He's still
7'5".
7'4". So even if he went down 3 inches, guess what? He still dunked
He's
over.
7'5" in dress shoes also,
He
too.
still dunked over somebody that was 7'1",
Good
and he
Lord.
dunked over somebody that had no idea he was going to do that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could
because
tell-
he didn't want to be
And
out there.
Yeah, he was
You
not
could tell
that
all
wasn't a plan.
participating.
He didn't want any part of that being a part of that
Yeah.
moment. And he was upset at the end when he didn't win. Like he jumped over.
Well,
me.
gee, how do you feel? It's like, you know what? I got all dressed up to get balls put on the back of my head.
Oh, Dave,
Hey,
Dave.
I know you're on Vegas Eye Media on Tuesdays,
that
but
was vicious.
That is not dirty. It's what happens.
Just because the man
I
had
will
ball
only,
juice
I
on the
will
back of
only
his
knock.
neck.
I will only knock Aaron Gordon for one thing and one thing only.
Okay,
Now, this is going to sound stupid coming from somebody who has never been able to jump even when they were in shape like myself. However, Bringing out Chance the Rapper to jump over is not impressive.
No, and that was and I said that to Quan when we were watching it live. I was like, stop bringing Chance the Rapper. Where's the mascot?
He's so short.
And that was just too many times. Like, do it one time, it's Chicago.
Yeah, cool.
He's the
He brought him
biggest
out
name
3
in
or 4
Chicago.
times.
3, maybe 4. Yeah, you're right.
was
It
a
might have
lot.
been 4.
It was a
It was
lot.
too much.
Every time I turn around, it's like,
Chance again?
Yeah.
Where
I'm
is
like-
the mascot with the big head? Like, bring him out.
Yeah.
Chance is like 4 inches taller than Kevin Hart.
Pretty much. Not impressive.
He's not a big man.
You really should be clearing him with the greatest of ease.
You should be like doing flips and clearing him.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so quite outraged.
And I wasn't necessarily outraged by it
Outraged.
but I it's just sad that somebody should have 2 dunk championships
That's why I
and
was
now he has
outraged.
0 because you already robbed him one time.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
so
when he cleared the mascot fully.
So if 5 judges are sitting there judging this and obviously saying they're trying to set it up,
Yeah.
then set it up for him to win because he did win. And don't look at each other's scores. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Do it
Just
where
score.
you have to score. And
Yeah.
honestly, I think the only judges should be former dunk contest winners from here on out.
Or dunk contest
I think it should be-
They've
there's
done that
enough
too, and
winners
it's
to do
just as
that.
bad.
Huh?
They've done dunk contest people before, and it's just as bad.
It's not just as bad.
Well, I'll say this: whenever it's someone that's from outside the NBA or basketball in general, they either tend to be the Russian judge or they tend to be way too 10 happy. So it's kind of
everything's a 10.
Yeah, I mean everything's a 10 or everything's an 8. Like, you know what I mean? It's they don't really know how to judge it.
Like
well.
that second dunk that Howard had, where somebody where Jameer threw it over the backboard.
Yeah, the
that
Superman
wasn't
dunk.
a 50.
The Superman dunk.
That was not a
we
50.
we didn't think it was a 50.
No.
We didn't think
It was
that
nowhere
was
close to a 50.
The first one should have been.
The first one, you could have talked to me about that because that was
48.
actually a legitimately impressive dunk.
Yeah,
But
I've never seen it
that's
before.
your other problem is they don't leave themselves any room to go up.
Yeah.
So when these guys take it to another level, they have no other level to go to because they've
Yeah.
already started throwing them 50s. So now they have to keep throwing them 50s.
Yeah. And Quan and I were talking about that. I feel like Aaron Gordon's 50s, he's at a different level of 50. Like when he was against Zach LaVine, you know, look, the dunk where he did the pretty boy freaking like 360 with the daggone mascot spinning around on a hoverboard.
No, he cleared
that was
that
insane.
thing with like both legs.
Yeah.
Like up.
Yeah.
The both legs under both legs.
That was stupid.
Yeah. But Zach LaVine did an amazing job too. I just felt like they kept pushing each other, and you know,
That was a better dunk contest. This one was good though.
Yeah, this one was good. It was
It was
good.
really good.
And the other thing one thing I liked about this one is there was not a lot of misses.
No, there weren't.
There was almost all connections.
Yeah, that's true.
And there was a lot of getting it on the first try, which
Yeah.
to me, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First or second, it wasn't a lot of 3 and 4 attempts, which can get out of hand. But
Yeah, the Nate Robinson winning after
06, I was in the house,
Oh,
and we
well,
were
You're like, it's time to go, Nate.
we were just like, come on, Nate, please.
Well, and Chris Anderson had like 13 misses
Oh,
on one dunk.
Time for the
They just kept
Birdman
letting-
was
to
bad.
fly.
That
They kept
was
letting him
bad,
dunk.
too. That one was
I mean,
bad,
they've
too.
definitely
Well, they changed the
evolved.
rules to make that never happen.
Yeah,
again.
they've evolved it a lot. I mean, we were talking about it. They had times when they had like a timer and
the time.
the most dunks you could do in 3 minutes, and we
Yeah.
judge it.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was actually worse.
There's
John
been some
Wall,
bad
that John
ones.
Wall one wasn't bad.
But
John
I would
Wall,
like
slam
to
dunk
see
champion.
more contestants in the dunk contest. I don't like that there's only 4. I know back in the
yeah.
day when there was a
12.
whole lineup of them,
Yeah.
it made it better, and they had rounds instead of like first round and championship.
What would
Yeah.
make it better, which will never happen because they won't put the prize money where it has to be, is that it should be all stars in the dunk contest.
And I don't mind that it's not all stars, but I think you have to have some sort of name. Like
You
Aaron
gotta have
Gordon's
a
not an
name.
all star,
You
but
need to have a name.
he definitely is known for what he does. And he's a starter. I think they should at least have playing time in the NBA.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
there were
they-
years where Derrick Jones Jr. was first doing it where like he was barely hanging on the league.
G League. Use G
Like
League.
now
players.
he's in the league.
Yeah.
So I mean it's better, but it's like when you're like literally you just jump and that's why you're in the league. I don't know about that.
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, I guess it's
but-
a stupid thing to complain about.
And at the same
But-
time, they've had people that won it, and they didn't do anything else in their NBA career. The dude from Utah a few years ago, I don't even remember his name.
Donovan Mitchell.
No,
Oh no, you mean Desmond Mason?
no.
No, not Desmond Mason.
Desmond Mason was the Sonics. It was
Yeah.
the other one.
This is like
I know exactly who you're talking about, too.
It's like 14 or 15. I'm gonna. I'll open it up.
I can't even remember his name, and that should tell you all you need to know.
Oh, got the hiccups.
But that one was absolute garbage too.
Yeah.
I mean that was really bad.
Those were the dark years. Those were the years where we're not saying cancel the dunk contest like we were during those years. Those were the years where it's like you couldn't get anybody that had any sort of name profile unless you got them when they were a rookie.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And look, I mean, rookies, honestly.
Jeremy Evans, 2012. Jeremy Evans.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's a tragedy.
I didn't know who he was then. I didn't know who he was after that. So we'll go all the way from 2000 was the best. Vince Carter was probably the best solo dunker because he was just doing things that was.
And he was
had
ahead of his time, but if you look at it now, it's like that Vince year couldn't hold a candle to what these dudes do.
But at the same time, Vince knew to do all these dunks, and that's how it evolves because you have to evolve, and they're all coached by real professional dunkers now. Which we saw your boy Chase out there a couple times.
Yeah, with Derek.
With Derek, yeah. So Vince Carter, Desmond Mason won in 01, which he did pretty good in that.
I was in the house for that one.
Jason Richardson back to back.
Yeah.
Jason Richardson undercover is one of the great all-time dunkers.
Yeah,
it's really good. I mean, he was doing things.
His year was to me personally, like for straight dunks, was better than Vince's year.
Yeah, no, the second year where he threw that when he was throwing it off the glass and putting it between his legs, people still ain't doing that.
Yeah, and his head was at the rim.
Yeah.
All right, trivia for you: what year did they not have a dunk contest beyond the lockout year?
98, 99. Two ball.
Do you know why?
Two ball.
WNBA two-ball competition.
Yeah, it's two ball. I remember.
Replaced the slam dunk contest in 98. That's how bad the dunk contest was getting.
Got.
It's two ball.
Like Brent Barry won, Kobe won. Kobe's dunk contest was cool, but it wasn't that great.
Well, no, but put it this way. Remember, at that point, J.R. Ryder was the only person to ever do between the legs, and he only could do it from the side. Kobe was the first person that actually came down the middle of the lane and did it.
Yeah.
So that, even though it was like, oh, okay, it's between the legs, it had never been done like outside of from the side. And J.R. Ryder was like, hey, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So, is what it is. Did he have any real memorable dunks? Not really.
No.
Not really. You know what I mean? Outside of, I remember between the legs, and he did it twice.
Yeah.
And they were clean. I'll give him that.
And then Brent Barry was the year before that.
Yep.
Wore his warm-ups the whole time, and
which is cool now because it's it's iconic. Think about it. No one else has done it.
It was still bad. I mean, that was a bad dunk contest. Harold Miner the year before, Isaiah Ryder, Harold Miner. So Sabalas with the blindfold that you could see through dunk.
You could completely see through.
Bro, that's like, it's crazy, honestly, when you really that's how much we really loved ball. Like, you think about stuff now, and it's like, I don't remember.
Dude, that was hot at the time,
kids
man.
did. You know what I mean? Like, I can remember us practicing those dunks, as kids, like trying to, oh crap,
you always did this one.
Yep, D Brown for sure. Like,
that's how crazy it is for people like us. As soon as you did that, I was, D Brown.
D Brown, you know what it means.
And you would do throw it off the backboard and jump up like Dominique, and but that was a great dunk back then, which would be a 40 today.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be a 40.
Well, Dominique always did better dunks in his games than his dunk contests.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny Skywalker. I mean, he was another unknown name. No one really knew who he was before or since.
Nice high top fade.
Nice high top fade.
Yeah, definitely.
Very nice. It was crisp with the lines.
Kid levels.
And before that, the 88 was when Dominique won.
No, stop. Jordan.
Well, they gave it to Jordan, but
they gave him a 50. They gave Jordan a 50.
Which was fine, but Dominique's dunk before that should have been a 50, and he would have won.
Jordan put the ball behind his head from the free throw line. It never been done.
From the what?
He was a step inside. Easy. That man
do you
also...
realize
the whole entire
by the way, do you realize that step inside was pretty much where Derek Jones took off and went between the legs?
No, he didn't go between the legs on the last dunk.
No. He didn't go between the legs. It was windmill.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, it was a windmill.
Zach Levine.
Which he should have.
Zach Levine did that.
He should have jumped from the free throw line, and that's what I don't understand. If Derek Jones Jr. would have jumped from the free throw line, okay, cool, you won. But he had plenty of room to do that because he was still way up there when he dunked it.
Yeah.
So But, I mean, it's easier said than done. I can't even jump from the free throw line to the dotted line in front of it. So,
Quan, you could jump further than you think. It just won't look sexy.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you think I don't jump when I'm at the gym?
Not coming full boat running.
Josh.
you running and you can only jump 5 feet. Well, Quan, I'm here to tell you, you need a trainer.
Josh.
It's time for a trainer. You got to step up workouts if you're getting 5 feet on a full sprint.
All right, 2004, Fred Jones.
Yep.
05, Josh Smith.
Yeah, with the windmill.
06, Nate Robinson.
Terrible one.
07 in Vegas, Gerald Green.
Gerald over the table.
Well, didn't he blow out a candle too? Or
No.
was a different one?
That was
another year.
Dwight. That was
Okay.
versus Dwight.
2008, Dwight Howard.
Yep. That was that year.
9 and 10, Nate Robinson.
Those Nate Robinson ones were bad.
Oh.
They were getting bad.
Listen, when he was in Dallas and he spun the wrong way off a bounce, listen.
No,
Nate
no one could say the man couldn't fly. I'm not saying that. But he missed a lot of dunks, and his dunk contests took forever.
Not as much that third time. That third time.
I can't remember because honestly, that whole
I
little
stopped watching
5-year
by then.
era was all jumbled up to me. So
He
I
was
can't
killing
remember
dunk
which was-
contests for me.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin in 11, which
Yep.
was, it was pretty dope. He jumped over a car.
He was hot at the time.
And he, had a key.
DeMar DeRozan.
That was before he really was like on Kia commercials. That's what kind of
well,
got
that's
him.
what got him the Kia
Yeah.
commercials.
Jeremy Evans, like we said,
Yeah.
we don't know who he is.
Nothing.
Terrence Ross, that was another bad one
That
for
one-
Toronto. John Wall, I don't remember that.
I do.
But
I
it wasn't
remember,
that
but I
great.
don't remember. Because remember, that was the year where they had that weird format where you did X amount of dunks, dunkers were going
Yeah.
at the same time,
Yeah.
and it was almost too much to really have a moment to really remember. What I remember Paul George doing the Nene. I remember that. That's about
So
as
then
much
it got
I remember.
good with Zach LaVine. He won twice in a row.
Wow.
Well, Zach LaVine
got
could
robbed
fly.
in 16. I mean, great dunks.
Yeah.
There was actually good dunkers that year in New York too. There was good dunks all around. I mean, there was.
Which
can't
one
remember
was
who
which one was
all
New
were-
York?
That was Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon.
No. Toronto was Zach LaVine
Yeah.
and Aaron Gordon.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The New York one was Oladipo was there. He came out singing.
Oh, that's right. That's where he wore the Black Panther mask.
Yeah.
That's right. I do remember that.
So there
You're
were
right.
some good ones in that. And then Toronto was the one that Aaron Gordon got robbed. Glenn Robinson the third.
Yeah,
I don't
Not a
remember
good
that dunk contest.
That was a bad
I
one.
don't remember that at all.
Who did he go up against? I really don't remember that one.
It wasn't a big
Because
deal.
that's when nobody. I think that's when Zach LaVine actually tore his ACL, so he wasn't in.
He
it.
wasn't in it. Yeah.
I don't think he was gonna be in it
Aaron
anyway.
Gordon said he wasn't in it that
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, that's one of those where you catch a year where all of a sudden everybody's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah. And then Donovan Mitchell, that one was cool. There were some good dunks in that one.
Yeah.
I feel like we were robbed of something this year, though. I mean, as good as those two were at the end, don't you feel like a healthy Zion goes in the dunk contest?
Yeah. No, for sure.
I think if Zion was healthy all year,
For
I
sure.
think Zion's in the dunk contest.
Doing some
and-
craziness.
Man, you even saw in that rookie sophomore game. He may be big as hell, but that kid can fly.
Oh yeah.
It's not worth
and
it.
And it is aggressive.
I know.
I mean,
hope-
he broke that backboard.
Yeah, he did. The backboard was off tilt, because they kept saying it on SportsCenter, and then they weren't really showing it. And I actually
Oh, it
looked,
was
and I
for
was
real.
like, oh no, that basket, the basket
Yeah, he
was
messed it up.
wasn't a lot, but it was.
Yeah.
You see where Ja got him that ball?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy. From 3/4 court, freaking GP and Sean Kemp.
Yeah,
it was one of those.
stupid.
It was one of those things I really want to see them play together in the NBA.
Well, I didn't realize that they were on an AAU
AAU,
team
yeah.
together. I
Grew up in
found that
South
out. I
Carolina
thought that was
together.
really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. That was really cool. That would have been an
Now,
explosive.
the
freaking-
Rising Stars game is still hard to watch though. It was cool seeing those
Although,
players,
so that's an unwatchable game.
but there's zero defense, and it's make them play some type of defense.
yeah.
It's also you can't ever watch that with volume on because they have all the kids there and everything
Oh, yeah.
like that,
So
and
they're
everything is
screaming
just
in
like
the background. Well, I went to the one out here, the rookie game in Vegas in 07, and we were sitting right by the kids section up top.
that's
Oh,
rough.
okay.
That was the worst game I've been to in my life.
Not a fun time.
Yeah,
No,
you can't.
no.
That's a fun game to see highlights of, but you can't watch that game.
Yeah.
It stops looking like basketball really quick
Yeah.
because everything is an alley-oop.
Well, I'll tell you this. The I want to say that was that Dallas? I think it was Dallas. The rookie game, that was when I realized who Russell Westbrook was, because he was a rookie, and at that point I had never seen him play, and I didn't know him, and he was a really nice kid. I talked to him before the game.
I like doing the most is watching them years later.
Yeah.
And that's what those are good for in my mind.
Because those rookie games, they do, especially sometimes the sophomores.
But the game has gotten a lot worse. They played better before. And there was that one year where I think it was LeBron and Carmelo back in the day where they were just like doing a dunk contest during the game. And they were like, come on, like at least play.
That's kind of where
And they did that at the end of this game, too.
Yeah, where it was like, well, the game's over, so let's just try and get everybody
like
some
clear
some
out,
looks.
you know. So it got kind of dumb.
I mean, you have Trae Young telling Luka to shoot from past half court, and he hits it.
You know what that means, guys.
Oh, no Kareem.
All right. We got some trivia.
All right.
This is one-on-one, Dave versus Josh. 4 tacos tomorrow on Taco Tuesday.
Nice. Shrimp tacos for me. Possibly.
Oh, why?
Pescatarian.
Oh, are you?
Stop.
Are you sure? I won't say anything.
Hey, look, I had pizza with you the other day. I was hungry. Look, I'm an anytarian.
And that was a meat lover's pizza. It wasn't like just pepperoni. And he ate every single meat, Dave.
I went to work. I had energy. to pull that stuff off.
And then he grabbed like 4, and he's like, "Oh, I was getting more for you."
Stop. Now you're gonna lie. You're gonna put me out there as a liar.
How many did you have?
I had 3 total slices, and I came back with 2.
Are you sure you had 3?
I did. I only had 3. I only had 1 plate. And I came back with a second plate, and I really was getting you a slice, but that was only because I thought you only had 1 slice. I was actually being a friend, but it's all right.
But then he didn't give me that other slice.
Did get it.
He ate both of them.
because you had 2 slices. You didn't need it. I was going to get there before you did, so I did. And then you ate the rest of the pizza. I didn't feel bad. I was like, that's his pizza. Let him enjoy it. And you did.
All right, what franchise has the most, and there's 2 teams, the most dunk contest wins by a franchise? Dave.
Chicago.
Josh. Ooh. And how many?
I'd say the Knicks.
Well, Chicago would have 4. 2 Levine, 2 Jordan.
Oh, okay. You're not going by person.
No, franchise.
Oh, yeah, I'd say the Knicks. The Knicks.
Like they were on that team when they won the dunk contest.
Yeah, the Knicks have Nate 3 times, Kenny Walker.
Oh, Levine wasn't there for those. But
No,
he
man,
wasn't,
I forgot about Dave. Josh wins Taco Tuesday on Mamba Monday trivia. The Knicks and the Hawks both have 4.
Hawks.
Hawks have
Josh
Dominique.
Smith.
Josh
Smith.
Spud Webb.
Dang.
Dominique twice.
Yeah.
Dang. Good job, Pon. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm glad I went Knicks, though, because I was like, well, Nate got 3.
I tricked myself on the Zach Levine one.
Oh, yeah. That's
he was
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep. Which Minnesota's tied, or number 3, tied with Miami with 3.
With 3.
Yeah.
Who else won in Minnesota? Gerald Green.
No,
he wasn't on
Ryder.
Minnesota.
J.R. Ryder.
There it is.
Isaiah Ryder at the time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Supersonics have 2. Supersonics / OKC. That's not the same franchise. Stop it.
Oh, that's right, because Diallo won 1.
Diallo
and
won
then-
last year.
And then
Desmond Mason.
Desmond Mason won 1.
I didn't think they were still counting OKC.
They're not supposed to.
Yeah.
It's not correct.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they aren't, because
It's
Seattle's getting
has
all their stuff back.
Yeah, they
when
still have all their
Correct.
stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't carry any of that. There's no banners. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
I can't wait till Seattle gets this team again. I was watching an old
Me
school
neither.
game.
I will go to
and the
that
old
game.
school Sonics jerseys with the green, on top.
Just
Old
the,
Sonic jerseys
the
were
like
nice.
rainbow,
Old school,
the rainbow letters.
the early
yeah.
the mid 80s.
Before they went too crazy with them, but the old ones like that, those are good jerseys.
I
Oh.
actually like the Space Needle ones.
They were
The Space
alright.
Needle ones were okay.
Yeah,
Those ones are classic though.
the ones that GP and Sean Kemp had in the mid
Those were
90s.
fine.
The ones that Ray had, those were trash.
Those were bad.
Those were horrible. They started using yellow and green. Like it was like,
Yeah.
oh no. you
Yeah,
guys don't
but
do
or like at the first KD year. They had some rough jerseys.
that. Man.
Just go back to the
Go back to the old classics.
Yeah.
But I mean, with Nike around, if they're around when Sonics get a
Oh,
team,
God.
they're gonna have
They,
95.
Nike's not leaving that.
Nike's around.
Yeah,
Nike's around for next decade.
Well, we don't know how. when
Nobody's
Sonics
going
are
to make a
coming
run
back.
at that thing
Yeah.
after Nike now.
Which I like Nike. Nike's done some great things, but now they're getting to where it's like, look, these guys are buying all 10 jerseys we make for every team. Let's keep making them.
Yeah, and
there's some horrible jerseys out there.
That's what they're doing.
Well,
first of all, Aaron Gordon should not have been dunking in the
orange,
fourth
and the
alternative, gray and orange.
Well, everybody wore their city edition
I think
jersey.
they did all wear their cities. Yeah.
Yeah, because Dwight wore that Shaq one that the Lakers are wearing.
Yeah.
And
But
he wore that terrible one.
Cunnington.
Connaughton wore he wore the dark one.
DJ Khaled.
DJ
Oh my
Khaled's
God,
so horrible.
Dave! Did you watch that part where he was giving the
God, no. If
introduction?
I see DJ Khaled,
Bro,
I never watch.
Listen,
it was horrible.
Listen, DJ Khaled, he's giving everybody's names out, right? He's like, and next up, you gotta apologize. I don't know, I might mess up this man's name, but Pat Connaughton. I was like,
Someone
it all
needs to
wrong.
explain.
Oh my God,
DJ Khaled to me.
I hate
He is completely untalented.
Wait. How did that happen? First off, he made the hustling beat, so he will always have a moment.
Did he?
Did
he?
Yeah, he did. He didn't?
Did Puff Daddy make all the beats that he made? Did Dr. Dre make all the beats that he made?
Well,
Okay.
whoever,
Exactly.
his ghost man that he
Exactly.
works with, both of them did great work together.
I don't think
I wouldn't put Dre in with those two.
I don't think he's touched the keyboard. No, Dre's definitely made beats.
You don't feel like DJ Khaled makes his stuff?
No.
Really?
Have you ever heard the man? Nobody that dumb is capable of anything.
Wait up. Oh, that's horrible. Don't
All right,
do
go
that.
ahead though.
Have you heard the man? Are you defending DJ Khaled?
Yes. 'cause
Really?
He works hard.
Does he?
He does.
Does he? Come on, Josh.
Dave, the man.
We the best music.
Hey, and look, and
DJ Khaled.
everybody's getting on the dance floor right then.
Really?
I promise. It
And
is
they're
what
all
it is.
dumb too. If you all are playing into this,
Whoa.
your dumbness is enabling someone else's superior level of dumbness. So I hate all of you.
Wow.
Let it out, Dave. Let the rage
I'm
out.
all for people. Listen, even if I don't get it, I'm all for people with talent shining. That
Okay.
man has no talent whatsoever.
He has.
Plus,
some
he's one of the
talent.
dumbest people ever.
Dave.
Well, he's smart enough to know how to make a ton more money than I'll ever see in my life. I'll say that.
I'll put it to you this way. Do you really know how smart Paris Hilton is? Paris Hilton is freaking brilliant, but she created a character that people.
Do you really think DJ Khaled created a character? Come on, Joshua.
I'm just saying. You never really know with that industry. You truthfully never know. A lot of times, someone will fall into a shtick and they stick.
I'm
with
not into somebody made a lot of money, so that means they're
We
great.
the best
They're great
music.
people. I don't agree with that. I don't care. I mean, listen, they make money, cool. Like, props to you making money, but I can't stand seeing him on stage.
Man, all I know is it didn't used to be that everybody on their track had to like yell out the label or their name.
Yeah, that's
What's
that's
up
more
with
of a
these guys
2000
now?
thing. What's up with
Mike
these
Will
guys?
made it. It's like I don't need to hear that on a track.
Mike Will made it.
Yeah, that's terrible. You yelling DJ Khaled, that makes me want to leave any place.
Any place.
They could be a giveaway of like $1 million with me versus one other person. And if I have to sit through DJ Khaled, I'll be like, I don't know, man, because if I don't win this, it's really not going to be worth it.
All right, moving on from bad
man.
rappers.
Oh man.
Or I mean, he's not even a rapper. I don't know what he
Bad producers.
What is he considered?
He's a producer.
Is he?
Famous is what he's considered.
Exactly.
Rich.
He goes
Also.
to clubs.
You guys are terrible. Go ahead.
No, Josh,
Okay,
we the best.
All-Star game. Let's move on to the All-Star game.
Uh-oh.
The new format. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, and I think everybody in the room did not like it. Josh is now saying he did, which
I hated it.
we didn't hear that from him.
I won't speak
3
for
weeks
anybody
ago.
else. I know that I
said
hated
I
it.
liked it. I said that it would probably create some good drama. That is what I
I
said.
don't remember that.
I promise I said that.
We were in the chat group. We talked about it on the show.
I promised
I
on the
didn't
show.
hear any of
I'm
that.
promised on the show. I was like, I'm pretty sure I was the only person that halfway liked it. I felt like Kareem liked it, or
I
at
don't
least
think he did.
or at least kind of saw the other side of it. He might not have liked it, but he at least kind of
And I think it was more. There
were
were
like,
so
"I
many.
hate it."
There were so many changes that I was.
too many changes.
Yeah, and I was confused. Like I still didn't know. Like, okay, how do you determine the final score in the fourth? Like I didn't really get it. But seeing the organizations that they're playing for there, I think that made it something like, okay, now we see the kids' faces that they're actually playing for.
That was cool.
So that helped out.
That helped out.
It did. That's the first thing I saw. So I'm not sure how this game is going to go. It's the beginning of the game. Okay, cool. The kids are actually there seeing like, hey, are you going to not win any money for us, or are you going to win a lot of money? So I mean,
your jersey when I get home.
They every quarter is a win and $100,000 to the charity.
Mm-hmm.
So that part, it was good. Then you start at 0, you have to win another quarter. So after the West, blew out the first quarter, I'm like, okay, this could be boring. Like when you get to the fourth quarter, I still didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
So now they can be up by 30 points. They only need 24 more points, and the other team's going to need 54 more points.
Yep.
Which could make for – so this is why this could still not work in the future.
Sure.
Because if that's the case – that's going to be a really boring fourth quarter nobody's going to watch if one team needs 24 and the other team needs 60.
If it gets out of hand, sure.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
Which we've seen all-star games out of hand before.
Yeah.
But with it being quarter to quarter, I think it made it more competitive to where it wasn't going to be like that.
Well, in the simple fact of you got to jump it up every quarter, it actually really felt like its own game. Like each quarter felt like its own game. And I think that definitely did aid in keeping it tighter too, because it wasn't like, oh, we're just going through the motions in the second quarter.
And I'm not going to jump out there and do what everybody does on social media when something happens and say that's the best ever with every single new thing that happens. It might have been. I couldn't even necessarily determine that yet.
It's the best in a little while, that's for sure.
It's definitely the best in a long time. I would even put it up its top 5. Because of the intensity, because that fourth quarter, even the third quarter, the end of the third quarter was very intense because they were trying to win that quarter, So, I mean, I definitely ate crow on this. I will admit I hated it when I first saw the text saying all the changes, when we talked about it in the chat group, when we talked about it on the show. I absolutely hated it. I thought now you're changing the game of basketball. I was throwing Adam Silver under the bus for trying to make too many changes. But I think it was great. I think it made for the most intense All-Star game in a long time. Saying it's the best is hard for me because I'm going to go back. Was it 0-1 when the East was down by 20-something?
Yes, I was in the house, and AI lost his mind, and Stefan lost his mind.
That game was ridiculous.
Kobe almost put him on his back in daggone won the game by himself at the end.
Yeah, and Kobe's the play. He took it serious every time.
Yeah.
So for this to be, kind of a Kobe tribute made a lot of sense because he was one of those guys in the All-Star game. The one in Vegas, the West was blowing out the East, and Kobe was still playing hard as heck. First of all, trying to get the MVP, but he was just playing. He's one that never took it as a joke.
I can tell you, Giannis in that second quarter was not taking it as a joke.
Same way.
Because Giannis, everybody was looking at him like, stop making us look bad, man.
Yeah.
You try it too hard.
But it was good, and it made everybody play harder. That fourth quarter, to me, was some of the best basketball I've seen in a long time because you're seeing the best of the best. And, to Josh's point, where what he'll get to soon is all the best was on one team. That's what Josh thinks.
Oh, it was, well, with the exception of Giannis. I mean, Giannis is great at a lot of things.
And Joel Embiid.
He is not good at picking.
No, he's a horrible GM.
He was the guy that walks into the gym not knowing who's in the gym, and pick everyone else that wasn't meant to be picked. He's the guy that picks the guy that was swole on the court. And you're like, oh, he looks like he can play. And the second the game starts, he's dribbling the ball like, dang, I picked the wrong dude.
No, you know.
So when I was watching the draft, you could tell he wanted to pick Embiid. So that's why he picked him right away. But my theory was you could get Kawhi. LeBron's not taking Embiid anytime soon, so you can still get Embiid as your second or third pick. Yeah, because he wasn't getting taken. So if you really wanted him, you could have got him later on in the draft.
Be that as it may,
he was going to take Kemba.
He should have had Kawhi.
Well, he took Kemba over Harden. He would have taken Trae Young also over Harden.
What? Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to win the game? That's all I'm asking. I'm just asking. Let's
he didn't take.
So they almost won. So they're going into the fourth quarter with a 9-point lead, though.
Yeah, and then you saw the real stars in the league show up. because the other team.
And I'm telling you, as a Laker fan, I wish Chris Paul wasn't making so much money. That's all I got to say.
Chris Paul looked fantastic. Chris Paul,
he would be great.
Two-hand
He would be
alley-oop.
great with
Funked it too.
being the third behind AD and LeBron.
You know what?
That's all
He's
I gotta
great.
say.
He's great doing what he's doing right now.
Hey, wait.
The Lakers do not have anything that OKC wants. Thank you.
Can we well, the trade deadline?
Oh, well, we already covered this. I already gave my apologies to Chris Paul. I made a full apology
on the show.
If I haven't, I will do it again right now.
I think you did.
I did,
Well,
but I'll do
I
it
don't
again.
remember. Do it again.
I feel like
I'll
it was
do
in
it.
December.
Chris Paul, I'm sorry, man. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong.
Were you?
I love watching
He's
you play
balling
basketball.
this year, bro.
I love watching you play basketball.
Check his stats.
You make this weird team just full of like 5 pros, even though, and one of those is Dennis Schroeder. You make that work because the rest it's just all like kind of raw wings.
They're 6th in the West, tied with Dallas.
And they've been playing well for a while now. And they had a horrible start to the season.
They're 11 games over 500. For a team that, listen, I said they were not going to make the playoffs.
We all did. Not just you.
No, Dave didn't. Dave said they had a chance to make.
This is going even better than I could have expected.
He was mad because he said Chris Paul is going to make them
yes,
good
he did.
enough,
to
just good
hover,
enough to be in there and mess up a
right
draft
there.
pick.
I didn't realize that he was going to help push along Shea's game, and I did not realize that
you can't say his name, can you?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay, cool.
Who are you talking to?
I don't
I'm
know.
not Steve.
Shea.
Is he having a good season?
Chris Paul?
He's averaging 17 a game. Okay.
Have you?
Wait
hold
a
on.
minute.
Have you watched them play?
Wait a minute.
Have you watched them play?
He's averaging 6.7 assists a game.
Have you watched them play?
How many minutes?
Josh, by the way, they run with 3 point guards out there.
31, 32 a game. That's normal for him.
They run with 3 point guards. The ball
he
distribution duties get spread around.
Chris Paul has never averaged more than 38 minutes a game. And that was only for 2 seasons. Most of his career he's only been a 33, 34 minute
Josh,
guy.
you like basketball. If you watch Thunder games right now, you would really appreciate what Chris Paul does out there.
Okay. All right.
Because he's doing what Chris Paul can do, but at the same time, he's letting Schroeder get out there and be a vital part of the team.
Yeah.
And he's really helping Shea's development.
Yeah.
And he looks more like New Orleans Chris Paul, where he's
in great shape.
He was doing more. It's not like when he got to the Clippers, I just felt like he was trying to score a lot more. He was holding the ball a lot more. If you didn't have an alley-oop, I'm not passing to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right now, he's making players better, which he made players better, but he made the big men better.
Yeah.
He made DeAndre Jordan look a lot better.
Yeah.
But no, that ball with their closing lineup with those 3 and Adams and Gallinari, that ball moves.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Steven Adams. We're gonna talk about the full court shot.
Of course, I'll talk about that all you want. I love Steven Adams. You kidding me? I'm gonna be sad the day they trade him.
I saw that and I immediately thought of David. I was like, oh,
I'm gonna be real sad the day they trade him.
Smiled somewhere, smiled from ear to ear.
Well, you thought you'd be sad when they traded Russ, and you're doing good now.
I'm doing a lot better.
He's sad. He's still sad.
I'm doing a lot better. It's still weird to watch Russ out there with the Rockets.
Yeah.
I mean, Russ now makes sense. The Russ there makes more sense with the tiny Rockets. With nobody granted, on one end they have no rim protection, but the other end, there's no way that you can keep rim protection there to stop Russ.
Yeah. All right, we got a caller live on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from, Chris? From Jerry's Nugget?
Yes, sir. That's me. What's going on?
Chillin', man. What's good?
I just got off work, waiting for my Uber to go home.
Okay.
And just see what the topic of the night is.
NXT. No, I'm joking.
NXT was great.
I could talk about that. We could have a whole nother show.
You guys need to have a show
because
Chris wants to do a show, pro wrestling, and you could talk about it too.
Dave barely
that would
keep
give Dave
up with his 2 shows.
That would get NXT
Don't worry about
that was the best thing I've seen in quite some time.
All 6 matches were top notch.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the only thing I would argue about is that the Ciampa Cole match had too many false finishes. I mean, Cole hit him with his finishing move twice.
That's an NXT match.
Did
That's a
he
main
really
event.
Just have like
a
wrestling breakdown. That was impressive. Wait, Chris, do you watch AEW?
I fade in and out.
AEW is nowhere near as good as NXT. It's not in the same ballpark. Not in the remote same league.
I shouldn't have poked the bear like I
AEW
did with
is
Steve.
way overrated. It's way
I
overrated.
think so too. It's a spot fest. Like their tag team matches, they have no rules. They just
Garbage.
come in when they want.
Garbage.
And then
Where do you
Yeah, it
find
is. I
time to
mean-
watch all this stuff? Is all I really want to know. Where do you find the time?
Not that hard. You put it on while you do like some cardio and just leave it on there.
Yeah, I watch. I don't go to the gym Mondays and Tuesdays, so I watch the favorite team today, and I see for going to work.
Oh,
I
you
will
guys
say this:
make my
I
day.
love Bianca Belair. She's a star. She is the next big thing coming out of NXT. I love Belair. What do you think?
Man, I could talk about NXT all day. I know we're going to bore people to death. I think Adam Cole is the best thing
No, I
in
know.
wrestling. I think they have
That's
a
big.
number of
Wow.
great people.
Velveteen Dream. You got to. I mean, he's the best. I love Velveteen
I'm
Dream.
not gonna.
I love
I'm
his
never gonna
character.
disrespect you for that one.
I love his character. I mean, no one remembers that he got his start in Tough Enough. Patrick Clark. That was Patrick Clark from Tough Enough, and now
I don't know what you're saying, Josh.
he's a can't miss prospect. He's top notch, can't miss, future of the business.
No, I don't
From
disagree. I mean, he's got mountains of charisma.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to
I mean,
give you
he-
Dave's number, Chris, so you guys can talk about this later. But we're talking about All-Star
Anyway,
Game right now,
what-
man. What do you think about the All-Star Game? What do you think about the new format?
I loved it. Remember, I called into your afternoon show a couple weeks ago, and I was the only one that you hated it. I think Cream hated it, but I was the only one that defended it. I thought it was going to be great.
Okay.
And I didn't watch the first three quarters. I was not paying attention to that at all. But the fourth quarter, though, absolutely greatest fourth quarter in any Super Bowl. I'm not Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, All-Star game like I've ever seen.
Okay.
An
Just the
all-star
level
game. All-star game.
competition, the competitiveness was off the charts. That
Yeah.
was, it was just
I
crazy
agree.
to watch.
How did you feel about it ending on a free throw, though?
I didn't like it.
Yeah, that was a bit bogus. It's a bit bogus.
Luck of the draw, man.
It's a bit bogus.
Yeah, I mean, you should see how upset the bettors were, though. That bet it over in game 312.5, and it landed on 312.
Oh,
wow. Oh,
No,
That's gotta hurt.
way.
Real talk. I had a customer throw their ticket at me. They're so upset, thinking that we fixed it or something.
That's
how? Yeah, you could never
crazy.
possibly fix
Wow.
a 312 and a half over.
That is, well,
I mean,
I mean,
well,
the only way it would not go over is if the
some of
referee
those
called a foul
some of those
and
fouls were a
next
little
second, one free throw.
a little suspect.
If they hit a 2-pointer, a 3-pointer, either or team, it goes over.
Plus,
Wow.
they had some of the league's worst refs in the All-Star game. Mark Davis.
But you don't like what's his name? Bald. Leon. You don't like Leon?
Leon Wood?
Yeah.
Leon, I'm fine with.
he's always
Okay,
good.
I was like,
Leon,
that's
I'm
great.
fine with. Mark Davis and the other one whose name is escaping me right now is
I know
awful.
who you're talking about. I know who you're talking
He is awful.
Which
I know
I was
you're talking
shocked when he actually reversed one of his bad calls.
I know who you're talking about.
The only way
Yeah,
I would have
I
been
look-
more upset to see one of these guys if it was Tony Brothers.
You leave your Tony Brothers.
Tony Brothers is terrible.
He is a Facebook friend.
I know that he's a
What's his name?
Facebook friend of
Scott
yours.
Foster still in there?
Not mine.
Scott Foster is still wrestling, right? Scott Foster? He's still out there blowing the whistle, right?
He's still doing it.
Scott Foster's still out there being
Oh,
Scott
God.
Foster.
But the also, I mean, I had the All-Star game though was the fourth quarter was off the charts great. It was the best thing ever. Now I can't watch. I don't want it to ever go back ever again like it was. It needs to stay like this. It needs to stay like this. It's perfect. Like the Pro Bowl, get rid of it. Pro Bowl. I don't know how.
Well, the Pro Bowl they
NFL
always should have gotten rid of.
There's
Yeah.
no
I
other
don't know how
All-Star
the NFL
game that to me is good. I mean, hockey's all right.
Hockey does they had to change that whole
Yeah,
weird
they changed
format
their
where
whole-
it's like a playoff happening within each division, which also means you have a ton of all-stars.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
an all-star. I think Josh was an all-star
Oh.
this year.
Football is horrible.
And
It's been horrible for a long time. The only thing that was good about it is they would go to Hawaii, and now they don't even do that. So
But they might start coming
And then
here.
Orlando. Who wants to go to Orlando?
I don't want them to come
I
here.
don't
for
want them to come
the
here.
players
for that.
don't want to be in the Pro Bowl. I don't want them here.
Listen, they might start coming here.
I don't want them here.
You wouldn't want the Pro
Don't
Bowl
want it.
here
Not at all.
every year?
Not at all.
I wouldn't go to the Pro Bowl for free.
You're a horrible person.
You'd have to
No,
start.
the Pro Bowl's horrible. It's a horrible game.
Just the ordeal of sitting through it.
It's a horrible game.
And Quan, you'd be like, I get free tickets.
I wonder how much I'd have to take to go to the Pro Bowl. It'd certainly be pass free, though. You'd have to pay me. I'm not exactly sure what amount of money.
I can't remember last time I actually watched the Pro Bowl. I actually sat down, turned it on, and actually watched it.
The only Pro Bowl I've watched in the last 10 years was this year because I was waiting for ESPN to talk about Kobe.
I could tell you the last time I watched the Pro Bowl was never. I've never once watched it.
You didn't watch when Sean Taylor cracked the punter? You didn't watch that?
I've seen the highlight. It's all I needed to have seen from any Pro Bowl ever.
Oh, Sean Taylor was out there for blood.
Well,
Ed Reed was out there for
so
blood.
were the guys that got him.
That's
just
not
announce
funny,
the roster, and that's it. Just say, yeah, you made the Pro Bowl.
Rest in peace, Sean Taylor.
Give him like a Rolex.
You won't let him rest.
I'll let Sean Taylor rest. I love Sean Taylor.
He's resting. Baseball All-Star Game is all right. Could watch it once in a while.
I only have one problem with the Baseball All-Star Game.
Home field advantage. Home field advantage.
Well, they got rid of that. They got rid of that. They got rid of that some years back, thankfully. Because that was terrible. But my biggest problem with the Baseball All-Star Game is they should change the rules for that one day because your biggest stars are done within 3 innings.
Yeah.
So the people you really want to see have nothing to do with how the game concludes.
That's true. That is true. They should be allowed to sub.
Maybe the stars should come at the end of the game.
I've heard that prospect, and I would be fine with it.
Yeah.
Except the problem is that people want to see them out there at the beginning, too, because a lot of people aren't going to watch the end of the All-Star game.
True. Just have them play. It's baseball. It's not like they're doing a lot.
But they have to get everybody in.
No, they got to get.
Don't have so many All-Stars.
But plus, don't forget, if you pitch on the Sunday before the All-Star game,
you can't play. You can't play anyway.
Well, also, there's plenty
one
of pitchers
position,
who make that happen that way, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pitchers who are like, can't go this Tuesday. Sorry. I'll take the trip. Maybe you'll give me a Chevy.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the last All-Star game I watched for baseball was the Pedro Martinez one, where he struck out 5 of the batters of the National League. I think that's the last one I've seen of baseball.
Well, that's been a while.
Which was the best. I think
I do remember that Pedro did mow through a lineup of all-stars.
Yeah. And that was the year they were all juiced up, too. Remember that the year everyone's juiced and they couldn't hit a 5'10", 170-pound changeup.
Listen, that was the baddest 5'10" man walking the earth at that point in time. Nobody was hitting Pedro then.
That was when his Jerry curl was still dripping.
Oh, his Jerry curl was ferocious.
For my money, I think I had Pedro Martinez as the best pitcher I've ever seen. Just because of the era he was in and the fact that everyone was juiced out of their mind and his ERA was like 1.88.
And he was in the American League with DHs.
Yeah,
I can't disagree with this. At his best, I don't know that I've ever seen one better.
He was juicing too, though.
Jerry curl juice, yes.
Jerry curl, yeah.
Soul glow, absolutely.
Oh, he was juicing all right.
The way he threw down Don Zimmer, was that his name?
Yes.
He had to
Good
be juiced
job.
for that.
Okay, that was also a Hall of Fame worthy moment. That, as well as the fact when they talked about the curse of the Bambino, he said you could wake the Bambino up and I'll plug him in the ass.
Yeah. I mean, I got Pedro as the best regular season pitcher, but postseason, Madison Bumgarner.
Thank you.
That dude was. I mean, he took that to a whole nother level. He was the Giants roster when they were winning their World Series.
You mean for the 3 World Series they won this past decade? 2010, 2012, and 2014?
Yeah. The 14 run, dude, when he came in, Game 7, bottom of the 5th inning, he knew the Royals were done. You knew they weren't going to touch him.
And that's after he had just pitched.
Yeah, Game 6, complete game, 104 pitches.
That's right. Has a Dodger pitcher ever done that? I'll give you the answer. The answer is no. The answer is no.
I don't know why it's February and we're talking about baseball. All right, Chris,
we'll
your 10 minutes is up.
Never seen that. Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking to you. Yeah. NXT, Dave. Hit me up. Let's, got a lot to talk about. Wednesday show coming up. It's going to be fire.
I'm here for it.
All right.
Well,
appreciate it, man.
Well, have a good night, guys.
All right. Take
Bye.
care.
Thanks, Chris.
Sorry, everyone, for the wrestling version. I do
man.
enjoy wrestling.
I can't remember what we were talking about now. All-Star game. It was good.
All-Star game.
Best ever, though.
No.
Negative.
Up there.
Jordan 96, the comeback year.
87.
Because Jordan and Shaq put on a show, and Jordan broke out the Legend Blues when we didn't know they were coming. It's a great time.
Yeah,
it's a great day in my life.
01 was definitely on the short list too.
01's definitely up there for sure. That's not.
There was
question.
one in
Definitely.
recent years that's escaping me that was pretty good down the
There's
stretch.
been quite a few, close games. Not every game's been a blowout, and they always play harder in the fourth quarter, so that's not anything new.
Yeah.
It's never this intense, but they always play harder in the fourth quarter. That's always been something.
One thing I've always loved about the All-Star game, and this year it showed up even more, is just like the little subplots. Like the guys, you could tell like their coaches were like you could tell they must have told them about Luka. Like, yeah, we don't want Luka playing very many minutes.
Well,
so
I mean, he came off being out for 3 weeks too.
But exactly. But you
So, of
also
course, he's not
saw
gonna play that many
Nick
minutes.
Nurse put Joel Embiid out there for more
Oh, yeah.
minutes than anybody else on the floor.
Destroy this guy. But I mean, he had his own guys
That's
in
hilarious.
there too. I think it would have been different if he didn't have his own guys in there a lot. Because Kyle Lowry sure did play way too many minutes.
Kyle Lowry sure doesn't need to be an All-Star again. I could live the rest of my life without seeing Kyle Lowry in the
Take
All-Star
some
game.
charges.
He actually was in there making some serious plays, but him being in there and not Jimmy Butler,
I didn't
what
understand
planet is that?
Nick Nurse has played it.
They couldn't.
So
they-
that's, to your point of they didn't have anybody. Jimmy Butler is one of the best players in the league.
No, he
just wasn't in the game. That's why my comment to you about it's bad coaching too. They had some really good players on the bench,
but
weren't getting in the fourth quarter.
But outside of Jimmy Butler, who else did they have? Honestly,
their roster was nowhere close.
That was a actual star. Like okay, like I said, the NBA there's a difference between stars and superstars. LeBron had 5 superstars. He had 5 dudes. Each of them had their own shoe.
I mean, listen.
Outside of Anthony Davis is the only person on that floor that didn't have his own shoe on that side of the floor.
Well, dude,
that tells you everything you need to know.
Think of it this way: and
he will soon.
No, he won't. Anthony Davis won't.
With the exception,
Nike tried to give him a shoe, and he didn't sell. His shoe didn't sell, and they moved
in LA
it.
now.
With the exception of Giannis, LeBron's team had all the other top MVP candidates.
Yes,
everyone,
every single one on one team. And he had MVPs on the bench.
Yes.
Russell Westbrook's on the bench.
Correct.
But back to your point, like Jimmy Butler not being in that game, he at least was because whenever they switched, whether it was on Kemba or whether it was on Kyle, it was a problem. Like that was a bucket or a foul. Those are the only 2 options they had.
Yeah.
I understand you keeping Kemba on the floor, but Kyle on the floor and Kemba was overkill. You could kind of wave them in and out if that's how you felt like you wanted to play it. But Jimmy Butler not being on the floor made 0 sense to me at all. Like, he was all you had, and at least he's a 2-way player. Like he's somebody that actually could go get his own shot. Everybody on that team at the end of the game, everyone was running from the ball. Kemba didn't want the ball. Kemba hurled up horrible shots. Kyle Lowry threw up some garbage layup that was like, boy, you don't throw that up in a pickup game.
Most minutes on the East. Giannis, 31 minutes in an All-Star game, which is almost unheard of.
Embiid had like 28.
29 for Embiid, 29 for Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
23 for Middleton, 28 for Lowry, who wasn't even a starter. Donovan Mitchell, 14 minutes. Donovan Mitchell's one of their best players.
That tells you all you need to know, because think about this.
Okay.
Remember that on top of all the people that are on LeBron's team, he also had Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, on top of everything. And he's hurt.
To have
Thank
Dame
God he
there.
was hurt. Lord, if he wouldn't have been hurt, it wouldn't even have been fair. It already wasn't
the
fair.
most minutes on LeBron's team was Ben Simmons with 29.
And he didn't play at all the fourth quarter.
LeBron only had 19. And I don't know how they determined the minutes, because the fourth quarter
was 40 minutes.
Didn't have minutes.
I'm just going to read the rosters because this is bothering me.
And real quick, we have a caller live on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Kevin. What's up, guys? You guys hear me?
Kevin from Chicago, right?
Yep. I want to talk about the All-Star game real quick.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. I feel like the only thing missing was Beyonce dressed up in Black Panther. Man, that intro though. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, you got Common doing slam poetry. Then you got the little kid up there. I don't know. Was that like a play or something? Were they doing a little play? It was just ridiculous. Just get on with the game, man. I got to sit through 50 minutes. I timed it. It was like 50 minutes, 55 minutes worth of intros. And you got Barack Obama up there in the thing. It's like, all right, give it a rest.
I mean, I didn't mind Common at all. I thought that was dope. And we know the All-Star intros are going to take a while. So, you know, if you don't like a long intro, just tune in later. That's how I feel about that. But I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it is overkill.
Yeah, it was overkill. And besides that, I mean, the commentating, the judging, there's only a few players I like to listen to. Reggie Miller.
Oh, God.
He's one of them. He's
horrible.
one of the few. I mean, he's better than Chris Webber or Shaq, Charles Barkley. I'll take Reggie Miller all day. But besides that, I'd rather leave it to professionals. But besides that, man, they robbed Pat Connaughton. That was annoying. Dwayne Wade gave him an 8. And then I got to listen to DJ Khaled come up there and say, Pat Connaughton, or however you say his name.
We talked about that earlier.
DJ Khaled, you're a fat slob, man. Who even invited you? And it's just that constant disrespect. It's that constant disrespect from the All-Star game. You saw it with Jokic. It's that same narrative. That's why it's hard to tune into the NBA these days. They got to push this narrative, and it's this.
What's the narrative?
What's the narrative?
What's the narrative?
The narrative is cultural social justice and this and that.
I don't think they do that in the NBA.
Cultural
they do it.
social justice.
Explain that.
Yes.
Yeah. Expand on that.
Well, for first off, you got Obama in the intro.
He's from Chicago.
He's from Chicago.
He's from Chicago. Go ahead.
And I miss him every day.
Go ahead. He's from Chicago,
Okay,
but go ahead.
That's one. And then you got to have all these little subtle nuances, and it's just subtlety. If you can't see it, then I don't know how to explain it to you.
No.
Give us examples.
Yeah.
Give us
go for it.
2 or 3 examples.
Go for it.
The intro was in itself. The intro in itself was everything you need to know.
I mean, they did a
I'm not
Kobe
gonna lay it
tribute.
out. It was all there. It was all there.
What?
They're doing
what? I'm
plays,
totally
and they're
lost.
doing,
Slam
the
poetry.
intro was just yeah. Pretty
What's wrong
much.
with slam
I'm not
poetry?
Gonna spell it out. I'm not going to spell it out. I mean, you either see it or you don't. But my second point. Why would they give Westbrook the ball there? They didn't give Jokic the ball when he just tied it up. He hit that big 3. He tied the game up in the third quarter. And what do? They go to Westbrook, and he bricks it. And Westbrook bricks it. That should have been Jokic shots. He's one of the most clutch players in the league. They didn't give it to him. And then what did they do? They said Doncic's out. Doncic got one of the most votes in all the NBA. He got one of the most All-Star votes. People want to see Doncic play. They set him out the entire fourth quarter.
You know why Luka didn't play, right?
Grown man game.
Hold on.
Grown man game in the fourth quarter.
You know why Luka didn't play, right?
Why?
Because he just came off an injury. He's only played 1 game after being out 3 weeks. His coaches didn't want him playing many minutes in that game.
He also played in the rookie game.
He was not supposed to even play in the All-Star game. You know, there was questions about him even playing up to a few days before. And he, like Josh said, he had just played in the rookie game.
Is that what they said? They said the reason he didn't play in the fourth quarter because they wanted to limit minutes restrictions?
Yeah, definitely. They didn't have to say that to know why he didn't play in the fourth. It's not because he was white, if that's what you're getting at. Because that's what it sounds like right now, Kevin.
Shoot.
Yeah, that's a part of it. That's definitely a part of it. The NBA is definitely part of it. They preach diversity, not very diverse. I didn't see a lot of diversity there.
Well,
they're pretty diverse. I mean, there's not a lot of white people in the NBA that are great at basketball. I'm
talking about commentators. I'm talking
commentators.
intro.
All the play-by-play men are white.
Marv Albert's white.
What do you mean? Well, like what?
Yes.
No, he's Jewish. He's Jewish.
Whoa,
not white.
That's white. I mean,
Wowzers.
That's white.
Wowzers.
No, it's not. Come on, it was a joke. If Doncic wanted to play, it was nothing to do with injury. It's just they wanted to give it to Chris
It
Paul.
has a lot to do with injury.
If he wanted to play, they would have let him play. It comes down to letting Chris Paul because he's older.
So
he's
you
a
just
veteran.
said he didn't want to play.
Hold on.
No, he wanted to play.
Okay, so here,
Doncic wanted to play.
Kevin.
You can see him on the bench. You can see him on the bench. He wanted to play. Look at the face.
Kevin. So, let me explain something to you, okay? Luka's still not ready. Luka is a great player.
20 years old.
Luka is a great player. But the intensity in that fourth quarter was nothing that Trae Young's not ready for that. Most of the people on those teams aren't ready for that. Every person on that court at the end of the game had been in wars in the playoffs.
Finals.
They'd been in finals. They had won finals. They had won
almost every player had been
finals
either
MVPs. Chris
Paul?
He's
Chris
been
Paul was in the finals.
he's been
He
in the
won the finals.
whoa. Wait a minute. I'll let you talk. Let me go ahead and get it out. He's been in the conference finals, right? He's also been a all-time defensive player. He's also top 10 all-time in assists. What are you talking about? Like, don't besmirch somebody's name just because your feelings are hurt because you feel like they should be playing or over someone else. He is still a child in this league. Now, he is a very good child. Don't get me wrong. I am not taking anything away from him. But when it comes down to it, that was a grown man. Listen to me. That was a grown man's game.
He's 20 years old, MVP of the EuroLeague. He's not a child.
You just said 20 years old. He's not even old enough to buy alcohol.
That child would smash you with one hand, you clown. What are you talking about?
Whoa. First off.
You sound ridiculous calling him a child.
Whoa.
He's talking about being a child in the league. You're talking about.
I got him. It's okay. I'm okay. Listen. First off, you need to watch your tone because when it comes down to it, I'm not being ridiculous at all. You're on our show preaching a narrative, and there aren't any narratives to be found. You sound a little out of hand, and I'm trying to bring you back into range because you're getting out of hand. That's all I'm saying. I'm not disgracing him in any way. In that game, in that situation, everyone on that court was a 10-year vet. Everybody. So in relation to the game that was being played, yes, sir, he is a child. That is no disrespect. That is the facts. There is a difference between disrespect and facts. That is not being disrespectful. I was not taking anything away from him. He is a MVP type player, yes. But look,
top three.
wait a minute. Answer me this: has he been to the playoffs yet? Have we seen him in the playoffs yet? Do we know what he's going to deal with in the playoffs? Do we know if his butthole is going to get tight in a tight situation in the playoffs? No, you don't know any of those things. So don't come at me speaking out of turn because that's not the case.
We don't.
Thank you.
We
All
don't.
right.
But either way, listen there, real quick. Okay, Chris Paul chokes in the playoffs as well. He hasn't done dick in the playoffs. The conference finals, he hasn't done shit.
Watch your language. Don't cuss on our show, please. Thank you.
He's made it to the conference finals, brother.
And not only that, Chris Paul was the best player on the floor going into that fourth quarter. He was balling out in that third, and he played really well in the fourth too. So,
listen, Doncic could have hung with them. There's a reason he's top 3 in the MVP voting.
You're just saying you're just spinning the same thing over and over again, and you're not getting
do you know he missed 2 or 3 weeks, and they didn't even know if he was going to play in the All-Star game because of his injury.
Oh boy.
You think James Harden is that much better than Luka in that situation when he was bricking everything?
That I can give you. I can give you that. That I can give you.
Are you going to listen to the fact that he wasn't playing a lot of minutes because he was coming off an injury? So his coaches for the Dallas Mavericks, this happens all the time. Any players that are coming into the All-Star game with an injury don't really play a lot of minutes in the All-Star game. That happens every year. That happens with everybody.
Should have put Jokic in that. He's been dominating.
So since the white guy you wanted in there wasn't in there, put in the other white guy that you say was dominating. He was 2 for 4.
He hit that big shot in the third quarter.
Okay, so he made one good shot. That's not dominating. Do you know who was dominating? Kawhi Leonard, 11 for 18, 8 for 14 from 3. That's dominating.
If he doesn't make that shot, they lose. that third quarter.
Okay,
He's dominating the league.
So it was
though.
a tie third quarter.
The
He's not dominating the league.
The schedule.
He's not dominating the league. He's not dominating
the regular season.
He's not dominating
He's the best center in the game. He's the best center in the league.
That's not dominating the league. That's you said best center, a position that no one even plays anymore. He's dominating that. Which listen, I like him. He's a great player. He's not dominating the league. He's probably 5th, 6th, or 7th in MVP voting. That's not dominating the league. Giannis
He's the best center in the league.
That's
though.
fine. Giannis is dominating the league.
He's been carrying the Denver Nuggets. He's been carrying the Denver Nuggets.
They have a really good team. They have a really good team.
They're 2 in the West.
That's not dominating the league. That's not dominating the league, though.
They're dominating Rudy Gobert.
That's not dominating the
Joel
league.
Embiid.
That's not dominating the league. The league. You're talking about a couple centers. That's not dominating the league.
He's 4th in my MVP right now.
Okay,
Jokic.
how is that dominating if he's number 4?
You're a writer now.
That's
Wait, what are you
you just
about?
gave
What's dominating
that's not
you?
dominating. Giannis
What
is
is
dominating the
dominating?
league. The best player
Okay,
in the
who else
league
is
is
dominating?
Hold on.
Who else is dominating?
That's all right. I'm about
Giannis
to ruin
is
it for you.
dominating the league.
That's all right.
Okay, besides Giannis,
Okay.
who else?
Oh, wait.
You just
wait.
had him number 4.
Wait. Jokic is averaging 20 and 10. That's dominating. He's dominating. 20 and 10. Bro, get off my line,
many
bro.
assists?
Get off my line, bro.
How many
He's
assists?
averaging 7 assists. That's great. He's having a good season. That's not dominating, bro.
Not
Get off my
dominating.
line,
How
bro.
many triple doubles?
Get off my line, bro. He's averaging 20 and 10, bro. Get off my
How many
line.
triple-doubles
That's
does
not
he
even
have?
that's not even close to MVP. That's all I'm saying.
What's
Like,
their record?
Kyle-
What's the Denver Nuggets record?
Listen, he's a great player.
He's a
He's
good
Denver's
player.
best player.
Jokic is still out of shape, bro.
He's not
like, for
dominating
real,
the
chill
league.
out. Like, really. Take a load
Quit
off.
crying. He's the best.
Take a load
Luka
off.
and Jokic are top 5 players in the league.
and Jokic are the best because they're white.
Name a black player that you like right now.
They're the best
Give me-
because
give me-
they
give me-
earned
give me-
it. They deserve it.
Give me a black player you like
So
right
you're
now.
saying those 2 players are better than LeBron, Anthony Davis, Giannis?
I think it's them right there. That's the top 5.
Okay, so
That's
that's
the
not
top 5 right
dominating.
there.
If you're number 5, that's not dominating. He's good. I like Jokic.
Wait, what?
You just said he's
This
5. That's
player
not
in the entire
dominating.
NBA?
He's
This
not
player in
fit.
the entire NBA is not dominating.
He's not fit.
No,
I'm just letting you know he's not fit. He's very good.
dominating something means you're on top.
Yes, and can't
He's
be
not
stopped.
fit, but he plays how many minutes a game?
It doesn't matter.
Is Joel
He's not
Embiid
dominating. He's 4. If you're dominating, you're on top. So you're not the best player in the league. Your team is 4 games behind the Lakers.
He's playing 32 minutes a game.
He'll be maybe 4 or 5 in MVP voting because there's people on top of him. So if you're dominant, if you're in a dominant position, that means you're on top. He's not on top.
Okay.
So
All right, back to your other host. He's not in shape.
No.
What about Rudy Gobert? How bad did he make Rudy Gobert look? Is Rudy Gobert in shape?
Sure. Rudy Gobert is also a defensive player of the year. Multiple times.
and he's not.
He's
dominating
also a
the league.
rebounding
What happened
champion
when Jokic
multiple
faced him?
times.
And what happened when Jokic faced him?
Did he have a good game?
Yeah.
Did he have a good game?
Dominated him.
Okay,
Did
he
he have a good
dominated.
game?
He dominated one player.
One
and you said he
game,
dominated
one
the league.
player.
He dominated defensive player of the year. He
Okay.
dominated him. Yep.
Kevin, name your favorite black player in the NBA.
Yeah, give me one.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just
We're
asking.
just asking
We're
a
just
question.
asking a question.
Just
Who's your
asking a
favorite
question.
black player in the NBA?
No. I'm calling it, and you got to make some irrelevant point.
Okay, we're asking you a question. You're a caller. We're asking you a question. Who's your favorite black player in the NBA?
Let me think. I'd say Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Hi.
Good. Thank you.
There it is.
We appreciate that. Well, thanks for the call. And, yeah, we'll hopefully bring Dave
Jokic
back.
and Doncic, both are top 5 in the NBA. You can hate all you want.
Chris
That's the
Stapps.
truth
We
of
never
the
said they
matter.
weren't top 8.
Chris Stapps
Top
is next.
5.
Yes,
We
Chris
never
Stapps.
said top 5. We just said they're not dominating.
Well, I don't know what your definition of dominating is, but
Well, Google
I
it.
guess.
Google dominating. And then I
guess
that's
the only
the
people dominating is Giannis. I guess the only person dominating is Giannis.
Giannis. Okay.
No. He's having a good season too.
Yeah, Giannis is going to be the MVP. His team's 46-8 right now. Doing pretty good. He's dominating. Giannis is dominating the NBA. That was my whole point.
That's it, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
No one else?
No one else is dominating.
Many players are playing very well, but they
They're not
will have
dominating the
bad games just like anybody else. Giannis has had bad games, but neither here nor there. Neither here nor there.
Come on,
brother.
man. What is your joke? It's just been. Have you seen the run?
We're not going to keep talking about. We
It's
got
all right.
your
Denver
point.
went and beat Milwaukee.
Awesome.
Denver went and beat Milwaukee. Beat the Utah Jazz.
Awesome. Lost to the Lakers, who dominated them. Thank you.
Beat Philadelphia. No, they didn't dominate. Went into overtime.
Okay, they dominated them in overtime because they won.
They
They didn't dominate.
Yeah.
It was
They did
That's
dominate.
what happens. You got
in
two
overtime.
All-Stars. You got freaking Anthony
right.
Davis and LeBron on your team. They better win the
All right,
game.
well, thanks for the call. We got to get Dave back on.
Yeah, because Dave shut down.
Just
Dave-
turn on the '84 Celtics. You'll be happy. All right, that's Kevin from Chicago.
Man.
Definitely is pro-white.
Ooh.
Doesn't like Jews at all, obviously.
Ooh, man, that got dark. That got a little dark.
All right, Dave. He's off the phone.
Come on, Dave. Dave, come back. Come
He's
back
off
to
the
me,
phone,
Dave. Come back to me, Dave.
We need more white people over here, Dave.
Hey,
Kevin's
Dave.
not going to watch if you don't
Dave.
get back over here.
Hey, Dave.
We need the
Dave,
we
how's
need
that
the we
chair?
need the Jokic of the show.
How's that chair, Dave? You like that
We
one,
got
don't
Dave
you?
Jokic back on.
You like it, don't you? You better speak up about that.
I can't
recliner
believe
sofa.
that I was about to have to argue with somebody over Luka. For God's sake, who loves Luka more than me?
You
The answer
do.
is no one.
And you literally were like,
And I was out.
I'm gonna have
I was
to
all the way
I'm
out.
really gonna have to say something. Like,
That was
I
not
agree
worth
with
my
Josh.
time. That was not worth your time or your time.
Dave almost had to agree with me about Luca. I would have ended the show right there. Like, oh God, Dave just agreed with me about Luca. I appreciate it.
Wow.
But I mean, and look, I wasn't. Like I said,
No,
I wasn't.
enough, please.
I'm just saying, wasn't here to besmirch Luca by any means.
No, he was clearly mad that there wasn't enough white people.
Man,
Okay.
In the
We
All-Star
covered. It was covered. It was well covered.
Dave, who's your favorite black player?
My favorent black player?
Russ.
I'll answer for you.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
a-
who's your
that's
favorite
a
player
tough-
in the league, Dave?
My favorite player in the league right now?
Don't be racist.
But it's not being racist.
If you say Luca,
Nah, he can say. Luka.
I love to watch Luka.
He can say Luca. He loves. Luka.
I will always have a soft spot for Kevin Durant, no matter how bad he turns out to be in different places. It won't matter. I can't even narrow down how many players I love in the NBA right now. There are so many great players in the league right now.
and you know what's crazy about this All-Star game? You didn't have Kyrie. You didn't have Kyrie.
KD,
You didn't have
KD,
Steph. You didn't
Clay.
have Clay.
That's a lot of
There's
stars.
some perennial All-Stars
That's
that
a
we're
lot
missing.
of stars that missed this year. That's
Yeah.
true. I didn't think about it that way.
Well, if you figure there's guaranteed three starters that weren't in there.
Yeah.
Because Kyrie, KD, and Steph healthy are starters.
Starters.
There is no question.
Not even that's no qualms at all.
Yeah.
That's true. Wow. So hey, some guys. Hey,
And
you know
Dame
what?
missed too, and the way Dame has been playing
Dame
is
also.
no
Wow.
joke.
Wow. I felt so bad that man. I hope he recovers quickly.
Paul
'cause
George
he was-
also. Paul George also.
Well, the problem.
That's an all-star. That's a perennial
Where-
all-star.
where was he
that
this year?
perennial?
Where was he this year, Dave?
Perennial?
Apparently, he has been an all-star.
No, not what's perennial mean?
Perennial
every year.
means every year that you're healthy.
Every year.
Okay,
Every year that he's
he hasn't
healthy,
been
he's an
perennial.
all-star.
He's been-
He hasn't been perennial.
He's been all-star quite a few times.
Okay.
Hold on. You go ahead. You look it up.
Paul
You look
George
it
is
up
a
first.
top-notch two-way player. Paul George was third in MVP voting last year.
He's been an all-star. I want to say at least 7 times. Right? I'd give him
probably
7.
in that range,
I'd give him 7. I'd give him
especially in
7.
the East.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
I'd give him 7. So that's perennial. Once you get above 5,
he was
you're there more than you're not.
He was a top 3 player in the league last season, and a great two-way player.
One season.
I'm never saying he's one of the absolute best players in the league, but I'm saying he is a perennial all-star.
Why wasn't he there this year?
6 times.
Sitting,
6-time All-Star.
Was that?
missing a lot of games
Oh,
between
okay.
injury and just sitting a
And-
lot, like
and-
all the Clippers do.
And just sitting.
Yeah, but he's been injured a lot in this latter part of his career. He had a couple healthy years, and he's been injured a whole lot lately.
Yeah.
I feel like this I worry about that Clippers team, to be honest, because I feel like you would think that this Clippers team was Kawhi's team that won the title last year with the way that they're treating this regular season. When it's like, you guys didn't win the title, Kawhi did.
Hey.
Just because he won it doesn't mean that you guys also won it.
The Clippers are still 3rd. They're 37-18.
And that's what's sad.
As bad as
They have
they've
so
played
much talent.
and as much struggles that they've had,
But when
they're
they
literally
show
a
up,
game behind.
when they show up,
Denver.
there is not a team in the league that wants to see them healthy.
No.
Not one.
No, and that's why they're resting.
You don't want to see them.
Milwaukee has destroyed them both times they played. Like embarrassed them with everybody playing on the team.
It's fine.
Okay.
Oh no, they put a beating on them earlier this season. I remember that game.
There's a lot of good teams they haven't beat.
No, true.
That they've got dominated by.
No, true.
I'm not one of
show up for the
those
Lakers,
to just throw in. They're the greatest team. Everyone's picking them to win a championship.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
They have a lot of issues.
No, I'm not picking them to win a championship, but I'm saying just in terms of as much as they've rested. And as long as it took them to actually even be healthy, because remember, they didn't all even practice together.
The
as
Paul
a team.
George thing is not resting though. That's him being hurt.
It's just he ain't right. I don't know what.
And I don't know if he will be right in time for this big push and run. And then does he stay healthy in the playoffs? Because
that's not a guarantee.
It's hard
either,
to say because of how they're treating all of these injuries and everything else. How truly injured he is, and how much they're just like, well, we'd rather have you healthy in the playoffs.
And that might be it.
And we'll sacrifice a few games here and there.
Yeah.
I hope they've been resting Lou and others
Lou
like that.
Lou's fine.
But
Lou's only playing one side of the floor anyway.
But here I'll put it to you this way though: them not doing that, them not giving those guys days off too, it starts a secondary dissension on the team, and that's actually what I've been hearing.
Talked about that.
Yeah, that's actually what I've been hearing in terms of
it's not shocking.
Like the players, that were there that have still been dogs, and we got to be a dog all the time.
Yeah.
Why don't you
That's
sit these dogs
the only
down?
reason Kawhi Leonard and Paul George went there necessarily was because those guys
already made
this a team that looked worth going to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, but those guys need the rest too. Like, don't just rest the stars and act like we supposed to carry the load, and then when the playoffs come, you looking at us like, why you tired?
Yeah.
Like, man, they've been resting. they had days off.
Welcome to the NBA.
Like, so it's one of those things. I think Doc probably should do a good job of that in the second half. If he can kind of massage those guys and give them some days off too.
But the thing is, I'm not sure that when you look at some of those guys, when you're talking about Lou, Montrezl Harrell, Patrick Beverly, that piece of garbage.
You hate Patrick
Beverly. Do you think those guys want to rest? I don't think so.
I don't think they want to, but like at the same time,
you might have to make them.
At the same time, you still say, "Hey, look, it's your turn. It's your turn." And if you keep putting it out there like that, like, "Hey,
but Lou is like, if they're not playing, somebody's got to shoot this ball."
Somebody got to shoot
those
shots.
I am more than ready. I am more than ready for all those shots. I will take both of their shots and mine.
That is too.
Lou is fine with that.
That's true. Now that's true, but you can't. Hey, look, but. When I tell you it's your turn to rest, and you be like, "No, I'm playing." Like, okay, well, I don't need you. Don't be saying nothing down the line. Like, hey, these dudes ain't playing.
But the other two guys are Patrick Beverly and Harrell, and those are just two high energy guys.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much
you can contain them.
Contain that because they're going to come out there.
It's true. No, it's fair.
But realistically, for them to be in the league, it's because of their effort.
That's the reason why.
Because they're not skilled enough in any other way to be NBA players.
Besides that.
But they're high-level NBA players because of their tenacity.
Yeah, their effort level. Yeah.
And still, you're still going to see that team. If they're healthy in the playoffs, there's no point guard or wing that wants to see that team. I promise you that. Because the last thing you want to see is Patrick Beverly, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard waiting for you.
At the top of the key.
Yeah.
Or picking up full court.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Because the thing is, if they're healthy, they can do that.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
I don't care who you are.
So.
Yeah.
And you have I can't believe I'm going to say this. You have a tested coach.
Yeah, I mean, he's won rings, and he's been to what, 3 finals? Right?
2.
It's 2. Because he won 1, lost 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's been to 2.
But we never lost with all our players healthy. Enough of that. A lot of teams could probably say
Blake's
that.
fault.
Alrighty. Well, that's been 2 hours, and this video feed is looking like a Rubik's Cube.
It's a ghost town.
And I need to eat. So, anything else you got to talk about?
You're going to turn the music up. No, I think
Knights beat the Caps. Great game.
It happens.
A lot.
Hope he had a nice kick save.
He did. They didn't give up the empty netter, though. It's good stuff.
Did Ovechkin score?
He did not.
Stuck on 698.
698. Quanstradamus, you got that one. I'll give it to you.